Greetings, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome to the next installment of Games Bond. NPC, Space Hoppercopter, lurkers in chat, VOD viewers, everybody else, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. I am rather excited to sink my teeth into not just a new Bond game, but a new era of Bond gaming, one might call it. We have, let's say for the most part at least, traversed through the jungles, the quagmire, if you will, of European microcomputer Bond gaming. And we are emerging.
Unspeakable horror awaits you.
Quan Chi might be onto something there. Bill Bull, 8 months of unspeakable horror. Thank you very much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. We are leaving the European microcomputer Bond business behind us, and we are entering into a world of European console gaming Bond. At least for our first little entry, which is James Bond Jr. for the NES. A game which appears from the approximately 2.5 seconds that I've seen to be highly European. So that'll be exciting. But yeah, you know, James Bond, it's been a great time so far. It's obviously been, not devoid of struggles of various kinds. But that, comes with the territory of doing a project like this. And, frankly, so far, I don't think, at least not in hindsight, that any game has felt, like an absolute misery to, get through or to spend time with. There's been some pretty miserable games, but it's been enjoyable. Technical issues and such notwithstanding. Whoa! It's Retro Island Gaming, rating with 8,000 billion viewers.
Look, you!
Welcome, Raiders. Thank you, Reg, for astronomically huge raid. Leaving me terrified beyond the capacity of rational thought. But we'll make the most of it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. You're here exceptionally well-timed. We're just getting started. We're just gonna drop some lore. We're just gonna set the stage here for the next installment of Games Bond. Who's we got here? Sam Hine 666, Mel's Gear, Steve-O. Thank you very much for following.
Look, you!
Valen, that goes for you too. We are in fact just starting. So for those of you who are new here, which I reckon is probably just about everyone, statistically, I'm Jiggy. I'm streaming out of Sweden. I collect a bunch of old games and toys and junk, which you can see some of which behind me. I've got a couple of cardboard boxes right behind me in frame because we did a big unboxing stream on Saturday. I play all kinds of weird old Japanese stuff for the most part, but I'm also doing my project, which I lovingly refer to as Games Bond, in which we are doing a chronological exploration of every James Bond video game. There's only like 5 of you? Alright, cool. And that's, that gives me some peace of mind. Ian Oblivion. Where be these Korok seeds? Herring 44. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna try my best to keep up with everything that's going on here. Also an incredible artist. Well, that's Rig's word, not mine. However, if you do like to partake in some art, I've got a command for that right there. Got a little gallery on my website. You may see in certain BRB screens and whatnot. We've got a little slideshow going of artwork that I've made based on games that I played on stream. But yeah, I do. Technically speaking, my job isn't necessarily doing art, but sometimes I do professionally do art as well. But I am I am an artist, that is true. I like to draw. I do some 3D stuff every now and again. I stream, I play video games, I collect toys, and I do all kinds of nonsense. So yeah, we are going to be playing the first of 2 James Bond Jr. video games. So without further ado, why don't we hop on over to the James Bond scene, and we'll dig a little deeper into the lore of what's coming up here. Let's turn on the music a little bit. It's a little intrusive. So, what is James Bond? Well, like I said, it's my chronological exploration of James Bond video games. In fact, I got a little command for that right there. Got a link to the official spreadsheet if you want to check that out. You can list, well, you can view the list rather. The listing's been done for you already of all the games that's going to be played. And this is not strictly a challenge to beat every game. It's more of a anthropological study, let's call it, of inspecting all the games. And we're going to try our best to play through them, or at least see what they've got to offer. The first dozen games have primarily been European microcomputer games, which, in my opinion, have been, like, significantly more completable than I would have expected. They haven't even been that impossible, and I think A View to a Kill for the C64, I think, is the only one of the games we've played which is like literally functionally unfinishable. I would have expected the percentage of those kinds of games to have been higher, but it's been interesting. I'm not going to give a super full like recap of everything, but we've got a couple of games here that we've played through. So like I said, you can check out that list, and there's also links there to I did a stream when we first started this back in October of last year, where we just kind of went through this entire list of games, and it's a list of 50 games plus an unknown number of secret bonus games that may be added depending on audience participation. Yeah, early on, there was a lot of these Amiga games, Commodore 64 games, ZX Spectrum games. We recently played Octopussy for the ZX Spectrum, an unlicensed game released in Slovakia. It was pretty interesting. A View to a Kill was dire. Really liked License to Kill. Yeah, License to Kill, definitely one of the better ones. Really like that game. The View to a Kill text adventure was not great, but it's better than the action game. I will say that the C64 View to a Kill has a rather smashing rendition of the theme song, which is something that's been mostly missing otherwise. Granted, the games have not all been directly based on specific films, but even the ones that were have, for the most part, not featured the actual theme song from the corresponding film in the game, which is always a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, so there were, I think these are, yeah, Goldfinger and View to a Kill from Angel Soft, 2 text adventures which were better than the C64 action game of A View to a Kill, but that really doesn't say much because it was, like I said, literally unfinishable. But had some cool music, had some cool ideas. That's the thing that's been really fun about this first leg, you know, doing these computer games. Every single one has like such a drastically different take on the license, and they do really different things with it. And I think as we're moving into this short period of 2D action console games, we're gonna start seeing a lot more kind of homogenous takes. They're not gonna be the same. There's still gonna be some variety, but there's kind of various flavors of side-scrolling, jumping, and shooting. There's 2 James Bond Jr. games. There's, I mean, we'll go through it super quick here. There's James Bond Jr. for the Super Nintendo. There's the Duel for the Mega Drive. And there's the Duel, the 8-bit version. And that's pretty much it. Because then after that, there's a bit of a gap. And then we get to GoldenEye in 1997. And that, of course, kicks off its own entire era of kind of everything that came after it. But let's not get it too ahead of ourselves. We'll come back to the James Bond Jr. introduction proper. But I do also want to mention quickly, like I said, we have some secret missions. to kind of set the tone for what those are. We've done 2 of them. The first one we did was Shaken But Not Stirred, a 1982 text adventure. Well, I've seen it billed as a text adventure. That's like not really true, because it's actually a significantly like larger and more advanced game than that. It's a game that has one section that's sort of kind of text adventure like, and then it's like a top-down map exploration thing where it's like ASCII art, ZZT looking stuff, and then the third part is like a first-person maze game. It was pretty cool, actually. And then we did Aqua Base, which was a, dare I say, fairly pathetic text adventure for the Texas Instruments TI-99A4. But, you know, unlicensed as it may be, it's still a part of Bond game history. Yeah, the VODs should be up on both Twitch and YouTube. They should be linked in the spreadsheet. I may have been a little bit lazy with linking stuff, but it's all definitely been recorded at least, so it should be available. But that's a good reminder for me to kind of go in and fix some of that. And the way this works is that we've got the Q Branch Research Funding Initiative going here, where all contributions to the channel in the form of subs, donations, bits, all that good stuff gets added at a rate of 1 Q credit per bit. And once we reach the goal of 15,000 credits, Q Branch will have the necessary resources to develop the technology required to take on the next secret mission. Elkel, what's up? Greetings. So you'll be able to see at the bottom of the screen, if you believe this command works, you type in !Q, and you'll see a little status update there if you want to see it.
Q
you can see a little contribution like that, and hopefully that doesn't break the command completely, but it should be counted anyway. Thank you very much for those 100 mega qubits, Bilbo. I appreciate it. So let's get back to where we were and get the lore on James Bond Jr. Developed by Eurocom for THQ, released in late 1992. Based off a cartoon series of the same name, the game puts the player in the control of James Bond's teenage nephew, James Bond Jr. Many scientists have disappeared, and it is Junior's task to find them and save the world. Agents have seen missile sites on an island, and they believe that Scumlord is responsible. All in a day's work. Yes, so as we usually do, in order to prepare for this game, we had a little bit of a community viewing on my Discord of the first 5, I think, episodes of James Bond Jr. This is a show that was on TV when I was a kid. I definitely recall catching snippets of it here and there, but it wasn't something I watched, you know, religiously or anything. I didn't really watch many cartoons at that time. I was getting old enough to where I was very bothered by Swedish dubs, and, you know, starting to become a little bit too cool to watch cartoons for that matter. Yeah, James Bond clearly never had any children of his own. But I imagine, I don't know, I guess Junior's dad also may have disowned him or something because he's somehow named after his uncle. I'm not sure about the specifics of you know, there's some deep some deep issues to untangle there, I think. What's up, Sinuj? Yes, this game seems extremely European, as we'll see. But yeah, so we watched a couple of episodes, and I'm actually really eager to watch more of this show. It's like a pretty fun cartoon from what I've seen. It's obviously incredibly stupid, but you wouldn't have it any other way, really. You'd assume that any spy would disown their own children or family. It's an explodable link that your enemies can get to. Well, that would be reasonable. Does not quite appear to be the case given what we see in the cartoon show, though. Not only is teenage James Jr. here, like, weirdly you know, up to snuff on his uncle's, you know, adventures. He's in like, so the we're gonna orient ourselves a little bit. We're not gonna be able to like watch the show here and everything, but we're gonna check out some video clips, some snippets, and we're gonna take a look at some other surrounding materials so we can orient ourselves a little bit for those of you who did not have the benefit of being able to watch the show. But the basic premise of the show is that James Jr. is attending some kind of boarding school in, I don't know, some unknown location in Britain. The school appears to have a student body of about 5 people. And it appears that everyone in the school, or the what's the word? The staff, basically, has like, well, most, not all of them literally, I guess, but almost all of them has like some kind of connection to James Bond, and they're all like very familiar. Faculty, yeah, I guess that's the word I was looking for. I can't English sometimes. What's up, Ushi? Yeah, apologies if I missed greeting someone. We just had a gigantically massive raid from Rig, so my chat it's moving faster than usual, but also I have this giant obnoxious raider box around every text message that makes everything disappear from chat way faster. So again, apologies if I'm not quite keeping up. But before I just start like describing and going over things, let's watch some clips we have here to just familiarize ourselves a little bit with the setting here.
Look, you.
Yeah, Rig. I know you can disable it somewhere. Usually, let's just say it's not usually been a big problem. It's a little bit of a unique situation this time, but I can live with it. Thank you, Arthur, for the follow. Appreciate it. So let's see if we can get this sorted. Let's get rid of these jams so we can fully enjoy the content. So I think we got some ads for the show, some like syndication commercial clips. There's some toy commercials and some other things, but I believe, yeah, I think we'll start with this one.
Looking for action? Then set your sights on this.
Bond. James Bond Jr.
He's the teenage nephew of the world's greatest secret agent, and action runs in the family. Charming, fearless, clever, and out to keep the world safe from the forces of scum. Don't miss the exciting series preview of James Bond!
Special preview Sunday, September 22nd at 10.
I hope and believe firmly that by the time we're done watching some of these clips, this theme song will have etched its way into your brain, burrowed itself as deeply as it has in mine. It's a pretty good theme song. I found myself at work today, like, not humming it, but like just having it pop up in my head like every 15 minutes or so. So I think some of you might have that. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll hear it on loop in the game. That would be pretty sick. But maybe just watching some of these clips will have a similar effect. How many episodes does James Bond Sr. appear in? I'm gonna guess 0. But we've only watched 5 of the 65 episodes. So the show was like designed for syndication. There is one like first episode that sort of establishes the status quo. And then after the initial episode, every single episode is completely standalone and self-contained, to be like designed to be watched in any order with no continuity. So there's like no ending. There's no resolution to any kind of storyline. But it's, you know, there's a bunch of like recurring villains who we see in the opening and the ads and stuff. Some of which are from the Bond films, or at least they're named after characters from the Bond films. We were kind of discussing that watching it, like, there's an episode where Goldfinger, with the help of Oddjob, they're like finding the lost city of El Dorado so he can like melt down a 40-meter tall golden statue so he can steal the gold and whatever. And I forget what the exact exchange was, but basically Goldfinger and James Bond Jr. acknowledge kind of the knowledge of each other's existence. And it's like, how... what's the continuity here exactly? Where Goldfinger... what's the what's the window of time here where Goldfinger is aware of who James Bond is, but he has not yet been killed? And the same goes, I think, for most of the Bond movie villains who appear. I mean, obviously the Bond timeline itself, if you could call it that, is pretty fluid, because movies been made for 60 years or whatever, and they're not strictly in one continuity, and if they are, they certainly don't take place over the course of 60 years. But then also this show is like extremely 90s, so I don't know, it's just a fun thing to think about. I mean, obviously the real answer is like, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. It's but it's funny. It's pretty funny. What's up, Zetsubera? Goat tongue, itinerant soldier. I'm gonna try to say hello to people as I manage to catch up here and there. I think we got some other
Good
promos
friends
here.
are there when you need them, and look who's got the best. Spend action-packed time with Tracy, Gordo, Phoebe, and that boy genius IQ. Cheer on the battle against Scum with the entire gang and that mischief-making hero himself.
James Bond, weekday mornings at 8:30 on Fox 19's Kids Club.
All right, thank you for that voiceover, child. Right, so we saw the little introduction there of characters. So there's Bond, of course, who is James Bond's nephew. There's perhaps his closest ally, IQ, who is Q's grandson. There's, what's her name? Phoebe, the nerd girl with the chipmunk voice, who I don't think is actually related to anyone. I was shocked when in the opening episode they introduced two female characters and neither of them had any relation to Moneypenny. I thought that was quite a shock, but that appears to be the case. There's the other girl whose name I don't recall either. And her dad is the principal or whatever of the school. There's Gordo, the California surfer dude, who is Felix Leiter's son, I think, maybe nephew. He's related to Felix Leiter anyway. Tracy, yeah, that sounds plausible. And of course, in the first episode, they gotta hammer everything home. It's always like, your uncle works with my grandfather, And it's like, so clearly everyone is fully aware of oh yeah, my grandpa, the top secret MI6 inventor. Yeah, I know some of the secret agents that he works with. It's a little bit strange. So you would think that this college or boarding school, whatever it is kind of a high value target. And yeah, there's the gym coach who is, I guess, it was former CIA or whatever it was. There's the what's his name, Trevor something or other, who is the guy that I don't know that I've ever seen a character who sucks shit as much as that guy. He's not only is a total narc, but he's a complete killjoy, and literally he appears to live to make life miserable for everyone else and narc everyone out and just be a complete shitheel and the worst in every way. And the other characters are unreasonably respectful and okay with him being around. Stormy, thank you for the follow. But it is funny how Gordo constantly gives Trevor shit for sucking ass, basically. And no one ever interjects or comes to his defense. Everyone just sort of, there's a tacit silent agreement that, yeah, I think he deserves getting yelled at for being a trash human being. Like, it seems fair. Seems fair. And yeah, I mean, all the characters are kind of various degrees of obnoxious, but I think that's kind of par for the course as well. And yeah, every episode, IQ invents a new tracking device for Bond. So in the first episode, Bond like appears. He's like late. He shows up at school in his flying Aston Martin, and the plot, if I recall, it's like Scum Lord is trying to steal Bond Jr.'s Aston Martin because it has some top secret plans hidden in it or something. And one thing leads to another, and if I recall correctly, at the end, they're like forced to blow it up. They'd like self-destruct the car. And it was like, well, we can't let this end up in the hands of Scum Lord, so let's blow up the car. And then after blowing up, so it's obviously, you know, it's a flying Aston Martin. It's like, oh yeah, I got this from my Uncle James. No big deal. So apparently James Bond is in the business of just handing out Q-equipped cars left and right, which, to be fair, seeing the way he treats them in the films, not terribly out of character. But so Junior's reward for blowing up this priceless government property is to receive a brand new red sports car, which I think also has some James Bond gimmicks, probably. I don't recall if we see them yet, but surely in some episode he's going to have some amazing car gadgets in it. Oh, there was an EMP thing. Yeah, that's right. That's what it was. And then I think, if I recall, it turned out that it wasn't, like, it was just a trick. It didn't actually, like, the car didn't have that in it. But I guess it was still fine that they blew it up and, like, you know what? Fuck it. Here, take another car. You're probably going to need it. What's up, Greffery? Greetings. Let's see what else we got here. I think we got a German ad. Let's check it out.
Hier kommt der Neffe des berühmtesten Geheimagenten der Welt.
Mein Name ist Bond, James Bond.
Und Junior ist hinter mir her. Dieser Kerl hat sich schon wieder eingemischt.
Der Herr der Wunderwaffen.
Sie sind ja ganz schön raffiniert.
Schlechte Karten für Verbrecher. Ein wahrer Held.
Wir sind verloren.
So schnell wird man mich nicht los.
Gleich James Bond Junior auf Junior.
Oh yeah, I think my mic probably, it was like Omega level super loud, so I think my mic probably picked out a ton of that, but that's fine. I think it only adds to it. It just adds to it. That's fine. It's fine. We heard snippets of it, but let's get the opening of the show in full. It basically, like all good theme songs, it explains the premise and basic plot outline in the lyrics. So we can just watch this and we'll basically be up to speed.
Bond. James Bond Jr. No one can stop him, but scum always tries. Young Bond cuts through each web of spies. He learned the game from his Uncle James. Now he's heir to the name James Bond. James Bond Jr. Look out, he's coming through. He's got a job to do while he rescues the girl. James Bond Jr. chases scum around the world.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. You know, if this game had or if this show had an Amiga game or a C64 game, you bet your ass that this theme song would be fucking playing on loop. It would be beyond the monsters. It'd be amazing. The Italian theme song's better. That's fair. There's some quality dubbed cartoon theme songs from the 90s. That is absolutely true. How did this not get a 1980s home computer game? Well, one contributing factor may have been that the show debuted in 1991. Not that 1991 is too late for a microcomputer game, but it would have been hard to make one in the 80s. I was trying to look quickly to see... So when we played the Spectrum light gun games from the 007 action pack, I found some materials. You know, we had the tape recordings of Desmond Llewellyn giving us mission briefings on the tape that came with it. And we had the TV commercial. So I figured, like, we're entering an era now where there's going to be some supplemental materials like that for the games that we're playing. Maybe not every single game, but we're going to find some TV commercials and some other stuff. So I basically just went on Google and searched for James Bond Jr. to see what I could find. You know, not terribly exhaustive research. But I was a little surprised to see just the range of stuff. So, unsurprisingly, there was a toy line, which seems to have gone pretty... there's like quite a few figures as well as other things. So we got James Jr. here, of course. There's IQ. I guess that's Gordo in the car. I don't think he wears a skull shirt on the show, but that's fine. We got the coach, who I'm sure has a name. The biggest kind of contribution he's done in the show so far in the episodes we watched is being the world's worst chaperone for their field trip to Washington, D.C. So that's kind of a fun thing about the show, too. Like, every episode appears to take place in a different country or different part of the world. And there's always, like, there's, like, strong Carmen Sandiego vibes, some light edutainment, like, always learning about cultural... you know, touchstones and landmarks and monuments and whatever else. And there's always like some theft or dastardly scheme connected to some of these, you know, local culture and history that they get to involve themselves in. So in the Washington episode, they were like, so normally, basically, James Jr. and his friends just like, fuck it, let's go to Peru. Or, you know, let's just travel somewhere. Let's pretend that I'm in my dorm room studying while I fly to Peru. But in that episode, they actually go on a sanctioned field trip. And, like, at the airport, they just stumble into some army woman who's like, oh, sure, I'll drive you around Washington, D.C. and give you a tour and tell you about everything. And he's like, oh, great, I didn't have anything planned. And it just kind of goes downhill from there. But I like his character design, though. It's pretty fun. Yeah, so there's Jaws over here. It should be obvious from the design, but in case you can't tell, this is Dr. No. Actually a pretty sick design. I like the design of the villains in the show is pretty awesome. It's, like, pretty out there, you know, obviously based on the source material. But I think the character design is like one of the stronger suits of the show. And here's Oddjob. His design is fucking sick. I'm not exactly sure why. Oddjob just has a brightly colored tracksuit, neon gloves, a gold chain, and reflective shades. But I mean, he looks pretty cool. I forget the name of this guy, but he was not featured in any of the episodes that we watched yet, I don't think. And of course, yeah, we got spring-fired exhaust pipe missiles. I believe this is the British, I guess, because every issue is priced 65p. James Bond Jr. comic book. Where I suppose every issue, at least some of them, came with some kind of a fantastic free parachute toy, for example. We get free Rice Krispies with this issue. Well, they're published by Marvel, even. I didn't pick up on that. Alright, okay. Looks, it's pretty good. Yeah, so this, of course, this is the artwork that we have from the game as well. More Rice Krispies sponsorship here. More toys. I didn't like go super deep into finding pictures of every single thing, but spring-fired shoot from the hip feature. All right, and we got like scuba James. So this was in the episode that we watched, one of them, which was really confusing because the episode title had something about Down Under in it, so I just assumed that they were going to Australia, but it was like some unnamed European country, and they were talking to like a security guy at the harbor who had a, like, I don't know, some weird European accent. It was confusing. Russian, maybe. He was like, he had somewhere between a Russian and a Spanish accent. It was a little hard to tell what it was exactly. I think I saw some other picture. This is like a golden ninja James Bond, which I mean, I was impressed when they had not just the scuba suits, but in the same episode they actually, like, all the characters had like a different outfit because they were like hanging out on they weren't on the beach, but they were like going on boating or whatever, like on vacation. So maybe there's an episode where he actually wears a ninja outfit. There's 100%. I know there's an episode set in Japan, so we're gonna have to check that out later. About these James Bond Jr. ultraviolet protected sunglasses. Stuff like this, I'm just like kind of baffled / impressed. But just like the audacity of coming up with and selling a product like this. And yeah, we already saw the car. There's a real working cap pistol. Hand fling CD blade weapon. Wait. Hotshot CD player. Okay, now I was like, what even is this product? Okay, so the idea is it's some kind of a Walkman you put on your belt. Or Discman, I guess. Well, this is a toy, not an actual CD player. That's good clarification. Hotshot CD player. I like the graphic design of the packaging. So I guess basically it's a holster for a cap pistol, and you can detach the fake CD and fling it. Which is, again, quite funny. Like, to like market one, like, hey, this plastic part, you could throw it. Okay, sure. I mean, it's not terrible as far as like action role play toys, but it is kind of funny where it's like one weapon is like the pistol, and it's like, hey, it's an actual cap gun, it works, it's got features. The other one, you can throw it. I don't know, pretty cool. I wonder if this is featured in the show. This pile. Game. We got game. We're gonna take a slightly closer look at this a little later. There's a James Bond Jr. wall clock. There's an LCD game. There's, I guess, some kind of Viewmaster fake binoculars, something or other. Some VHS tapes, comic books. Dude, look at the amount, like, several vehicles in the toy line. A coloring book. Looks unamused. Comics, these are the American ones. I just grabbed like a completely random selection here. We can get some James going here, by the way. I'm not sure. I'm guessing these are like novels, or maybe some kind of choose your own adventure thing. Something like, they're like books at least. More comics. As seen on TV. I like that we get slightly different palette swap James Bond Juniors on here. Oh yeah, here's Scumlord. Oh, here's the flying Aston Martin that's in the show for about 15 minutes. It says, yeah, this is the first issue, so I wonder if this is just based on the first episode of the show. I guess that would make sense. Sword of Death. James battles the legendary Dr. No and his deadly ninja army. Oh man. High stakes. James is gambling for his life. I want to say that I saw some 8 exciting, uncut, unedited episodies. The full, unadulterated, raw James Bond Jr. experience. Which is like this dodgily redrawn version of the same artwork, I think? Special edition DVD. We got a sticker album. We got game. Help James Bond Jr. to save the world from a nuclear holocaust. Oh shit, he's carrying his James Bond Jr. branded secret disc holder. Some might argue that the level of secrecy you can accomplish with a disc holder that is branded not only with your name and logo, but also the fact that it is in fact a secret disc holder. The level of attainable secrecy may be somewhat diminished. Some might argue, but I don't know. I'm not a professional spy or international man of mystery or anything like that. Oh yeah, here's this guy. What was his name? Walker D. Plank. Pretty powerful guy. I mean, yeah, JNR, like, this is a legitimate way to abbreviate Junior. It's just funny to make fun of it. I think this is like... his name is like Despair or something. It's like all the villain names, the original villains are kind of... They're not exactly puns, but they're like a little bit punny. Alright, here's the first exciting issue of the British James Bond Jr. Free water squirting spy camera. And a super competition. Alright. We got Italian toy ads, I guess. Oh, Buddy Mitchell, that's the coach. Walker D. Plank. James Bond Jr. Ninja Gear. James Bond Jr. Flight Gear. James Bond Jr. Scuba Gear. Ike. Alright, okay. I guess that's short for IQ. It's got like articulated lab coat action. If I were a spy, I wouldn't tell you. I mean, that's true. I would be slightly more careful, I guess, than the Bond family and friends. Yeah, Dr. Derange. Jaws. Gordo Lighter. Dr. No, an Odd Job. It's so weird to me again that he's got this like black skull t-shirt. But I wonder, so the show was not super well or long-lived. They basically they made 65 episodes for one yearly season, although I guess it would have probably aired over slightly more than a year. 91 to 92, and then that was it. So I mean, the fact that they did all these figures and cars and like everything, like they probably went in on it pretty heavy, but with you know, the time it takes to make toys and everything, by the time everything was kind of hit the market, I guess it makes sense. Like, it's not a super shock that they wouldn't have then, like, there was probably not multiple series of figures and whatever, but yeah, it's, and again, not super shocking, I suppose, but it's kind of funny that you've got like the crew, you got like several Jameses, but no Tracy. But I guess, you know, on the plus hand, I guess there's no Trevor figure either. Can you imagine some actual kid wanting the Trevor figure? The thought just struck me, like, what kind of literal, like, hell child would you be to see that character on TV? And I was like, I want that toy. So, yeah. But, you know, the toys they made were pretty cool. And the, like I said, I like the character designs in the show. You know, people who would have wanted the Trevor figure. I mean, I could see people wanting it to, like, fucking blow it up with firecrackers and shit. But, beyond that, I don't know. Now, we do actually have a few, clips here, some advertisements. So let's check out some of those. They're a little bit, there's going to be some overlap in the what's shown in them, but yeah, let's just I think we can grab about this one.
It's a James Bond Jr. secret mission, but Scum is ready. Walker the Plank hooks IQ. Jaws is having a snack. Odd Job is flipping his lid, but IQ packs a punch, and James Bond Jr. dives into action. Mission accomplished. James Bond Jr. Figures and vehicles sold separately.
That went by lightning speed. I think we're gonna need a second viewing.
Your secret mission, but Scum is ready. Walker the plank, hooks IQ. Jaws is having a snack. On job is flipping his lid. But IQ packs a punch, and James Bond Jr. dives into action. Mission accomplished. James Bond Jr. Figures and vehicles sold separately.
I love the little simulation thing they pop on there to make sure that you don't think it's real life, I guess. Yeah, like classic toy commercials are so sick. They've got these like extremely elaborate fucking dioramas and like, you know, the toys are cool, they're well made, but like obviously putting them in this giant scene like makes everything look so much cooler. And like these perfectly orchestrated action feature like rocket missile, boxing glove, whatever Q or IQ was shooting, actually connecting perfectly. Pretty sick.
James Bond!
Ο θρυλικός μυστικός πράκτορας. Η κόκκινη αστραπή ξεχύνεται στην άσφαλτο. Οι τρομεροί σκάμ παραμονεύουν. Οι μοτοσικλέτες καρχαρίες των κυνηγούν. Κίνδυνος.
Ο James Bond Jr. σε μυστικές αποστολές.
Δράση.
Περιπέτεια.
This is extremely good.
Θρίαμβος. Αποστολή εξετελέστη.
Is this the rumored Italian theme song?
James Bond Jr. από τη Hasbro.
James Bond!
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. What about this one?
It's a James Bond Jr. secret mission, but Scum is ready.
Unspeakable horror.
Jaws is having a snack. On job is flipping his lid.
Oh, I think it's the same one.
Packs a punch, and James Bond Jr. dives into action. Mission accomplished. James Bond Jr. Figures and vehicles.
Okay, that's fine. Lamasar, thank you very much for resubscribing. James Bond. Yeah. Like I said, you know, you hear that theme song 4 or 5 times, and then you're like, no one can stop him, but Scum always tries. Like, oh, shit. I just like the surf rock guitars just pop in, and you're like, damn. Like, stuck. I think the audio in this one is pretty scuffed too, but let's give it a shot.
James Bond Jr., the world's youngest secret agent.
You and I were in our top secret laboratory when two of Scum's most notorious villains, Jaws and Walker de Plank. I grabbed the computer, but de Plank got his hooks on Q. I tried to stop Jaws, but he had other ideas.
Get the computer.
Just in time, Q blasted de Plank, and I fired the top secret computer. I think they got the point. Time for a spin in the new sports car, when behind me, Scum Sharks. I activated the blast shield and returned fire. Another fish to fry. Happy landings.
James Bond Jr.
Yeah, so that's like some actual, like, not an American trying to do a fake British accent voiceover. Doesn't sound much like he does on the show, though. Sounds much older, slightly more northern. I don't. Okay, let me do this. Hang on. I don't have a way to easily open up a YouTube link, but I should be able to just download that. And it'll take like 2 seconds probably. And yeah, let's check it out. So weird too, like there's more footage here because it's like a longer thing.
James Bond Jr., lo studente. James Bond Jr., nuovo agente. James Bond Jr., sorprendente. Proprio come zio James Bond. James Bond Jr., coraggioso. James Bond Jr., impetuoso. James Bond Jr., favoloso. Proprio come zio James Bond.
Like fucking slap bass.
Circondato dagli amici. Junior, ma braccato dai nemici. James Bond Junior, questo è James Bond Junior.
We're like a minute in before the title drop.
Affascinante come non mai. Sempre galante in mezzo ai guai.
Like slowing down the footage. Alright, let's hope we don't get DMCA'd, but it should be fine. Oh shit, we got solos and everything. That was pretty good. You know, I find it hard to like say it's better. Like, it's so weird. What I started commenting on it, but then like I didn't want to talk over the whole thing. But like, it's weird that when they use the footage, like in any show like that, when they have like a totally different theme song, but they still use the footage of the opening from the original one, that's like at least to some degree edited to fit that original song, and they have totally different music. Is like it's always so weird. But yeah, I just realized seeing this. I had to, like, we had to grab the Swedish one, right? So we're gonna have to check it out. But I just noted, I just went to YouTube and searched for it, and then apparently there's a 10-hour 39-minute video of James Bond Jr. VHS compilation part 1 of 2 Swedish. Man, that's pretty good. There's another playlist here called James Bond Jr. Hilarious Swedish Dub. Let's download this. And we'll check out the Swedish dub of the song. The Swedish one, it's the same song. Could I not? Okay, let's try another one here. There we go. Okay, hopefully I was able to grab that. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, let's see how this goes. Oh shit, I thought for sure there would be Swedish lyrics. But I guess not. I must misremember, like... I'll just rewatch it anyway. Of course, we get the like, all the Scandinavian dubs in the same credits. Yeah, shout out to fucking Media Dub. Same stable of 6 actors dubbing every cartoon in Sweden in the entire like 80s and 90s. Yeah, that's actually a little surprising. I mean, not that every theme song were like dubbed. I know that like the Disney shows always had like banger Swedish opening themes. But the reason I was expecting it primarily was like because I remembered like the melody of the song, but in my memory, you know, when they sing James Bond Jr., they do it with like an awkward Swedish accent, basically. But that must be a complete fabrication of my memory, unless they eventually dubbed the theme song in Swedish, but that sounds unlikely. But anyway, I think we're basically up on the lore as much as we're gonna be. So we got our stable of villains. You know, we got so far in the first couple of episodes that we watched, we saw Scumlord briefly. Jaws, I think, showed up the most so far. We got Goldfinger and Oddjob. And there was Chameleon, the guy, like the shapeshifter. He had like fucking nanobots in his face so he can transform into different... You know, he was a shapeshifter basically. But apparently when he's out in the rain, his face breaks. So that seems like a slight inconvenience. And we've seen, you know, from the toys and whatever else, there's Dr. No, there's what was his name? Dr. Derange, this guy. And they show up on the cover art of the box too. And there's like I think the guy who's like, I don't know if we see him. Oh yeah, there's Walker D. Plank, the pirate. He's not going to show up here, but there's the guy with the monocle. I think his name's Baron von Skaren. And I'm sure there's... Oh yeah, there was Pharaoh Pharaoh, the ancient Egypt themed villain who... what was his plan? I don't even remember, but there was a fake mummy curse. Something. So I'm sure there's a bunch of other villains in the show. I don't know that any of them will appear in the game, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, James Bond Jr. obviously is James Bond Sr.'s nephew. That's how that works. But yeah, guys, I think we're about as prepared as we're ever going to be. So I think it's time to boot up the game and check it out. Let's make sure we have the timer on there. And let me make sure that we have the game capture. Just realized I didn't actually set up. Go. And we're about to get European, guys. Let's just sit back and enjoy this 6 minutes virtuoso European screen, you know, title screen theme song. Yeah, we got those arpeggios. The music is cool. It does feel very different from the cartoon, but I think there's a confluence of reasons there for that not being the case. You know, them not using the theme song from the show. One could be legal reasons or other kind of license complications. The other, I think, is like the proud European video game composer tradition of not giving a fuck, of just like, hey, let's just make some cool music and put it in here, the rest doesn't really matter. And speaking of great European tradition, this is not an actual microcomputer game, but it is a microcomputer game in spirit, because we can elect to play with music only or sound effects only. But we can, of course, yeah, we can play in complete silence or with all the sound. So obviously that's just a good option to have. Just poking a little bit of fun. Yeah, THQ is Toy Headquarters. Option 3, the game came out before the first episode of the TV show aired. It definitely did not, because this came out in late 1992, and the show aired from 1991 through some part of 1992. So if anything, the show was already over by the time this came out. Hypothetically, it could have been made earlier on, but NES games didn't typically take a year and a half to make. So that's probably not the case either. Highest score today, 0 points. Yeah, it even says, yeah, parentheses, toy headquarters. Yeah, there you go. It did originally stand for that. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point they, like, technically, or like, you know, they formally changed the name of the company to just be THQ, not standing for anything. You know, it's like GOG. GOG isn't short for Good Old Games anymore. It used to be, but they changed the name from Good Old Games to GOG. So these things happen. Let us press start to begin mission, and let's do that and start the timer. Many of our top scientists have been kidnapped. Euro Daily. Agents have seen missile silos on a Caribbean island. We believe that Scumlord is responsible. Our only hope is to send James Bond Jr. Who's that? James Scumlord has to be stopped at all costs. Your first task is to find and disable his defense missiles. James is flown in under cloud cover. Dude, the graphics. And the fucking music. Told you guys this game's European. European as fuck. The plane reaches the island. James bails out. Parachutes down to the island below. I'm going in. All right. So already, like, oh, there's a timer. Let me pause. 44 minute, like, okay, there's a 45 minutes timer. Do we have a does the game start with a sprawling 45-minute aimless, you know, trinket collecting stage? I don't know. It could be, obviously, that the time is more of some kind of a global timer thing, or it's, you know, it's not real time, minutes, seconds, or, you know, you do something and there's a time penalty, or the game, it's like a full-on open-ended Metroidvania kind of a deal. I don't really know exactly. I know it's supposed to be, like, there's supposed to be a bit of a contrast between the Super Nintendo game, which is a much more straightforward linear action game, and this one being a little more adventure-y, open-ended-y kind of a thing. But I don't really, yeah, I mean, we'll find out together. I just realized that I did not make any attempt at procuring a manual for this game to read through. That probably would have been a good idea. I mean, it was great to watch toy commercials for James Bond Jr. toys, but a manual may have been more helpful. We'll see. If any of you guys can, like, source a manual, like I said, I honestly didn't even think to look for one. With the computer games, it was, like, more crucial in some cases. I would have thought maybe, I guess instinctively, without thinking about it, that wouldn't be a concern here. But for a fucking European NES game, chances are there's going to be some cryptic shit. We're going to need a manual, but we'll see. Oh, we got one right there. Excellent. Thank you very much. I'll go grab that. And we'll start playing. But if we realize that we need it, or, you know, whenever we game over the first time or some such, let's check out the manual. Thanks again, Soldier, for hooking me up. That's helpful. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. It's pretty funny. The opening doesn't exactly make clear who is tasking James Bond Jr. with this mission, but it should be noted that in the show, he's very much not any kind of government operative. He is, you know, he goes to school. And all of the, like, adventures and missions he goes on is basically, you know, they travel the world and someone's in trouble and they save them, or, you know, there's some shit like that. So the idea of someone, an unnamed older gentleman, deciding to, like, we gotta send James Bond Jr. is already a little bit incongruous with the premise of the show. It is also funny to think that someone would, like, we're all out of adult agents. Quick, someone get me an irresponsible teenager. You know, do anyone's got any leads on anyone whose uncle works at MI6? I don't know. Does Bond Senior show up ever? I would take for granted that no. I don't know that for a fact. We've only seen 5 episodes of the show, but I would certainly assume that that's... You know, they lay it on pretty thick in the beginning, you know, explaining everyone's, you know, family relationship to their corresponding movie character, and so, you know, and whatever. But it seems pretty, you know, content to do its own thing. All right. Okay, ooh, we got highly European jumping. I got limited ammunition. I'm gonna not step on that thing. Whoa, we got parallax scrolling. I don't know if this is an exploration pit or a death pit, but... Oh, well, that's our answer right there. Oh boy. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting kind of Addams Family vibes. This kind of maze-like structure. Oh boy. Oh! Ah. Okay. Damage boosting will require a little bit of tech. Okay. Well, I got a burger, so that's good. Oh boy. Arduous, laborious climbing. I can probably... Of course I can. Oh, fall damage. Okay, I get this. Okay. This game is getting more European by the minute. Music though. Or... Oh, it generates us. Of course it does. Computer there. Maybe we can get some intel. Oh boy. Turn around. Does he take more damage in the knees? I think he might. Does this game have like locational damage? What? Oh, what are the controls? Wait. Oh, I see. Can I? Oh boy, can I try that again? There we go. Oh! Well done, you've disabled the missile! Oh, cool. Okay, I had no idea that's what I was doing. This is a missile. I disabled it. Okay. 4 to go. That's a shocking amount of accidental progress. Okay, let's climb down carefully. Well, we got 6 lives. That's kind of surprisingly generous. The game has passwords. We know that from the title screen. Oh! Oh, okay. Alright, let's take out this 12-foot tall punk. Did he drop a bomb? Ammo? Oh, okay, it's a big crate of ammunition. No! I'm gonna take water. Oh my god! The water did not break my fall. Oh, I mean, it kind of did. I was thinking it might be safer than landing on a pipe. I may have been mistaken. Enemies don't respawn, though. Oh, I dropped a diamond, but that's probably gonna despawn. Enemies take an absurd amount of bullets. So can I... Oh, I can't just barely make that. Okay. Don't know what that sound was. Oh, big burger. Thank you very much. A little bit obnoxious, but okay. Oh, I think that's... I think that was like scuba gear, because I think there was like a... Okay, press select. I was trying to see if I can like bring up an item screen or something, but yeah, it was like a snorkel thing, I think. I mean, there's nowhere else to go than into the water anyway, so... Oh, no, there's the thing. Oh! On my way down, I saw that there was something on the right. Little opening. Stow the G, whichever it is. Thank you for the follow. Okay, no fall damage. Yeah, there's an opening there. I see. That like a point? Like what did I get then? Oh yeah, because you gotta like go down. That wasn't scuba gear. And what? Oh. Oh boy. Oh, I'm getting juggled. You cannot turn around while crouching. Bit of an issue. Alright, these guys are ancient Roman hammer bros. Okay, bomb. Oh, my gun is regenerating. Yeah, headshots are way more deadly. That's so fucked up. Oh yeah, you can't grab ladders mid-jump. Heavy C64 vibes. Yeah, I mean, it's got some ocean. Oh, you can hold the jump button to damage boost higher. Is this the first game with headshots? I don't know. Oh! Like the minimum jump height is pretty high. Oh, he shot. Oh, you can't jump through platforms. Oh, dude, he was okay. Firing a lot more rapidly all of a sudden. And ammo. Oh, shit. Native American, Nightwolf, Rambo. Bullets are so hard to see. Okay. Like trying to land headshots. Oh, I don't know what I got, but okay. I knew it. If you tap up, you start like facing the background. Okay, maybe it's safer to just run. And you like get stuck. Because both like touching the background or like facing the background or crouching has like a chunky old delay on it. Oh. Yeah, the jumping Moai who also shoots some kind of projectiles. Fuck it, let's just mash. It's just points, I guess. Whoa, what the heck? Fantasy floor? Oh. What the fuck? I can... Are you serious, game? Okay, I might need... Okay, select. Still doesn't do anything. Can I? No, I can't, like, swap weapons when paused. No, like, yeah, no. Doesn't really look like there's, like, any changes in the tiles. Just gotta tank it, I guess. This is like a highly elaborate animation of him climbing over. Is that gonna shoot? Yeah, of course it is. I was like, oh, can I drop? No, not exactly, but I can jump. Weaponized Amiga droplets. Okay, sure. Just eat 30 point blank shots to the face. I'm not gonna make it up there without tanking some hits. So the jet like turns off. Okay, I can shoot this at least. Dude, that was... I just guessed the timing. I was gonna say, like, there's no way you can, like, time that. I just super lucked out. Because the jet only turns off for, like, a split second, basically. Oh, the clouds. I don't have any ammo. Or, no, okay, I do. I thought it was, like, regenerated and I couldn't shoot. Oh, the high-low mix-up. Unblockable. Oh, I see. It's like maximum bullets on screen kind of thing. Time. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, what kind of puzzle you got for us? Okay, so we need to get an extra... Oh, okay. An extra line of... Controls are... Fuck. The fucking noise too, man. There we go. And I like how I'm gonna bring on my Windows sound mixer here. I'm just gonna mute that. The timer's probably still going. Yep, sure is, but at least I can hear myself think. Okay, so I need to white down here. Move. There we go. So I use A and B to toggle which column or row I'm adjusting, and then I'm using the D-pad to move. Okay. So it's probably easiest to do this. Fucked it up. Well done. You've disabled a missile. Alright, now what? Now what? Yeah, the sound options. Can I play with sound effects and music but no alarms? That'd be nice. Oh yeah, once we got to that other section, I took a left to go here. Right, I know where we can go. Oh, fuck. This computer is like non-interactable. From what it seems. Yeah, I mean, the game, from what I'd seen, just like pictures and like 2 seconds of footage, like it clearly looks competent. It's just a little mysterious. Alright, I'm just gonna hold left. Appears to be the strat. Just ignore the Moai heads and they'll go away. Oh, damn it. Oh boy, okay. You gotta make sure that you don't jump high enough to actually reach. This is so ridiculous. Okay, I don't know what that was. Stick of dynamite or a firecracker or... I don't know. Oh. Can't drop through the floor. I'm gonna fucking... What? My controls! I think my controls were reversed for a second or something. Oh, fucking homing missiles. Why are the enemies this tanky? The key to a dynamite-shaped keyhole? That sounds extremely plausible. Whoa! We got Mega Man boss room scrolling all of a sudden. I can't crouch that. No, I can't. Like, it takes time to crouch and uncrouch. There's like hard, like you can't advance. Wait, that's not the guy shooting me. Maybe it's a turret. Actually, that would explain it because it's like shooting when I'm up there. Yeah. Select plus down. Aha! There's the scuba gear. Okay, we got 99 bombs. Okay, thank you for that. Oh, his sprite changes. Shit. Well, we're gonna like game over or whatever, so I'm not gonna bother backtracking. Okay, fine. Yeah, I like that you get little shorts. Like, so fucking laborious. I have to like wait to fully uncrouch to be able to throw the bomb at full height. Huh? Oh, I can like reach the ceiling. So that's how you do that. Oh, the gun only regenerates when it's equipped. $99 scuba. Wait. Hang on. Oh, maybe I can blow this up. I can. There's like even a little animation for it. Not being able to turn around while crouching is a bit fucked. Okay, bombs seem a bit more powerful. Maybe he's using a real cap gun. Maybe that's why it's shit. Then again, these things take like 5 bombs. Look at the animation. It's funny how like Bond's sprite It's like the... I mean, when he's standing there walking, looks fine, but some of the animations look a bit goofy. And overall, he's like the least visually impressive thing. Farming for bombs is fine because the bomb guys seem to drop them frequently. Okay, let me Oh! Full buffet. Bombs and James Bond heads and burgers and everything. Okay. Guessing these. So I guess only orange computers are interactable. You know what? We should. There was water here. So. And a respawnable burger. You know what? I don't know how long I'm gonna survive, so I'm just gonna grab that. It's equipped. Oh yeah, even he's holding his gun. I didn't even think about that. All right, let's go diving. I can shoot bubbles. Does scuba power refill if I go to the surface? It does. I gotta mash real hard. The swimming controls are kind of mysterious. Expect nothing less, I suppose. I'm getting eaten by fish. That was a mistake. My bubbles are so weak against these bubbles, and the bubbles hurt me. Of course they do. Evil bubbles. Do my own bubbles hurt me? Probably not. Hopefully not. Scarily low there. I can only reach him with opening up. Okay, my emulator window just alt-tabbed itself away. I have to look at my stream preview. Oh, underwater burger. Let me just fix that real quick. Oh, I was in desperate need. I didn't even realize how close I was to death. A weapon? Oh, it's a fucking bomb. Okay. Or it's a missile or something. Oh, there's another missile, speaking of. Yeah, McFish. Oh, of course. Oh. Computer down here? Yeah. Time to mute. Okay. All right. So we need a... Okay, that's top row taken care of. We need a light blue on this one. We also need a gray. We're in the wrong order. But that doesn't work. But if we this, I can do that. Okay. These puzzles aren't that fun. Okay, and it's up here, down. Well done, you've disabled the missile. Okay. My timer isn't still paused. It crashed. I think it crashed at like exactly, I don't know. Live split is so fucked up. It's like super unstable for me for some reason. Can someone figure out how long? We started at about... Yeah, we started about half an hour ago, right? It hasn't been stuck for long. So let me just restart. And we'll just start at 30, I think. Nope, not 30 seconds. There we go, that's close enough. Yeah, the Super Nintendo James Bond Jr. is after this. 45. Yeah, well, I've been paused a bunch of stuff too, so. Yeah, the Super Nintendo game is by Gray Matter. Lord Chris Gray. These games I'm actually not intimately familiar with myself, but I know the name and I know it's somewhat infamous, I guess. I almost forgot to equip my scuba gear. So far, like I'm pretty impressed with how sort of unmysterious this is compared to what it could easily have been. It's like weird, sure, but I should have grabbed air. Yeah, it's fine. I have to like really mash, because like when you mash, when I'm trying to go up, like this is as quickly as I can go up. But if I'm at the surface, like I will start sinking if I don't press A. So you have to like mash way faster than you can actually swim to keep refilling your air. So at this point, is backtracking to the first water the only part that we have? Because there's 2 missiles left. Yeah, Bob, aka Space Funky Bob, is probably the most well-known game, or it's like that's the first game that comes to mind for me at least. Yeah, we did whatever was back there. Whoops. And yeah, it would absolutely not surprise me. Yeah, you gotta do a short jump. That they're built on the same tech, so it's like very similar. Yeah, you gotta do like you can modulate the jump height, but it's not like Mega Man where like you literally jump for as long as you hold it, and as soon as you let go of the button, he stops ascending. You gotta like pre-cook the jump, or I mean like tap really quick. But because there's a bit of a delay, like if you hold the jump button until he actually starts jumping, you've already held it for too long, and you won't get the minimum height jump. Mistimed it. Cool, I remembered which way to hold. Oh, okay. No! Ah! Started second guessing which way to damage boost. There's some stuff in this game that's not as civilized as it could be. But it is pretty cool. I'm liking it. But yeah, you know, I was expressing some amount of excitement about getting to the console games because it's going to be kind of a different vibe and everything. Which it is, and these games are going to be pretty different from each other for that matter. Oh, we're back at the beginning. Alright, so now we can scuba down here. Hopefully that leads to 2 missiles, otherwise I'm not sure. But I know that some of these games, like the Duel on the Mega Drive, I know to be like really fucking difficult. I had that game as a kid and I never got even like halfway through it. Because once we reach GoldenEye, I think for the most part, with some exceptions I'm sure, but for the most part, we'll be able to just, you know, with a little bit of patience, get through pretty much any game. But these console games are more likely, these early ones, the 2D games, are more likely to put a stop to things just on account of being hard. And, you know, I'm not overly concerned with necessarily beating a game. Like, that's not the most important thing. But of course I want to see the games, and it's going to be... I'd rather be able to beat a game than not, you know? It's somehow like weirdly hard to keep in mind that I actually take damage. I have a health like separate from air. Like, of course I do, but like there's so much to keep in mind. Just like tracking the oxygen levels. Okay, we got little Robotech dudes. Nice, okay. A fucked up enemy. A tiny little 1 health burger. Yeah, so there's a missile here, but like, that means I've missed one. And they didn't seem like super missable. But I probably just haven't really been paying attention. But honestly, the level design is like not nearly as clumsy and confusing as it very easily could have been. This is something I need to bomb. Okay, time to mute. Yeah, this is supposed to be like an earlier one, right? So should be easier, but is it though? I guess if I do... Fucked it up. Well done, you've disabled the missile. Okay. Well, we did basically backtrack to the beginning of the stage, so... Whoops. Okay, no fall damage thing. So we should be able to kind of retrace our steps. Fish was like, they're the deadliest enemy. Yep. Oh, I guess it makes sense you don't start in the water, like in case you drown or get stuck. You want to make sure you respawn somewhere where you can survive. But otherwise, it was like, it was so friendly about respawning you right where you were. I was a little surprised. Oh boy, that's gonna explode on me. Yep. Didn't really necessarily seem to do that much though. Alright, so this is the beginning. Yeah, this is the first missile we got. Yeah, that's where you fall. Oh, you fall down here. I guess you land on that spring so you don't take fall damage from that first fall. That makes sense, I guess. Let me hydrate. Oh. Oh. Maybe I should have had my scuba gear just in case. Trying to think of where I could land on a spring for safe falling, but that wasn't it. 17 minutes. I mean, considering how much we've been fucking around, timer's pretty generous, but that has me a little bit worried, because this is stage 1, right? There's probably going to be stages with increasingly strict timers, is what I'm going to guess. So there was like some shit up here, but I'm sure is not here anymore. Yeah, it was like a burger or something, right? Dog down there. Oh, I'm out. I have to like lure the dog. Ah! Standing up takes time, so I wasn't fast enough. Try to turn around. Okay, screw it. We'll let the dog live. So I went here, left here, right? Fuck. I'm gonna... Okay. I was like bouncing up. Oh, I'm at 0 lives too. Like, just to check that there was... Oh, of course. These guys could drop a burger. I don't know if damage is just random or what. The whole headshot thing seems a little inconsistent. Right, we went this whole thing. We got the Moai heads, which hopefully we can just safely walk through here. It would not appear that you need to kill any, like, you just gotta explore and find the missiles. So right now, like, I'm obviously just gonna take the game over, but I wanted to basically, like, I don't think I missed anything here, but I didn't think I'd missed anything anywhere else either. So I guess we'll... I was gonna say, let's try the other weapons before we game over. What if I... Okay. Maybe explode the computer or something. Maybe the dynamite and the torpedo bomb thing are the exact same. Maybe just kill everything on screen. Okay, well, there's some missile here. I guess we can try the dynamite on the Moai head screen. Nope. I don't think I'll make it past that little pool of acid. Well, if we can get that far. It's a flashbang that stuns enemies. Flare. Okay, cool. We'll take a look at the manual. I just, like, because we just got started when I grabbed it, I didn't want to interrupt. But when we get a game over, that's as good a time as any. Didn't seem like it froze the Moai head or anything. Oh! There's nothing further to the left. Yeah, honestly, it was a mistake on my part to not think about the manual, because it seems like reading the manual is like pretty crucial for a lot of the games we played so far. And even when it's not, it's fun. You know, it's interesting. You get a fuller experience. So, well, hopefully I don't fuck up the timing here. Yeah, I did. Continue game. Okay, so this is interesting. It does not appear to put a number on continues, which doesn't mean that they aren't limited, but they could be unlimited. So I'm gonna pick yes. And we, holy shit, okay. I was gonna say, let's see where we continue. I thought for sure we would do the whole stage over from the beginning. It literally put us exactly where we were. But that makes me think that then, in that case, they have to be limited, right? But let me see if we can figure out how to finish the level. I know we went through the water. We killed a robot dude here. From this fantasy waltz. Okay. Oil again. Game really doesn't want you to damage boost across bodies of water. I get it. Okay, I mean, I guess we clearly must not have gone here. I don't know why I thought we did. Or, like, why I thought, rather, that there wasn't something I'd clearly missed. Yep, here's the last. If we clear the stage, we'll take a break and read the manual. Oh boy, that was a bad idea. We'll leave that burger to its fate. It's so fucking hard to dodge the shots even. Yeah, dog get the burger. Alright, so that row's complete. We need... Basically, you do this. Well, actually, it doesn't even affect that, so that's fine. Yeah, that's also fine. That's also fine. We just need, basically... So why? Okay. There we go. Hold on, James. You've completed your mission. Now find the teleport. No one told me about a teleport. Okay. Find the teleport. All burger's gone. I guess it probably would be on ground level. Am I applying too much logic here? Oh, fucking hell. I did not realize that's what was going on there. How you can jump through these platforms? Even if the platforms don't respawn, the enemy shouldn't respawn either, and I should be able to get the platforms back by leaving the room. Oh, I missed the burger. Like, I think I went up here. But I don't remember doing this. Fucking hell. Okay, in this room, you can't jump through them. Oh, okay. I thought I could maybe hit the thing above me, but... Oh my god, we got fucking Crash Bandicoot remake physics where you slide off platforms. Also, it seems like the platform started deteriorating when I was hitting it from the side. Okay, level's not over. Ah, okay. Not really gonna help me, is it? Oh, well, I got ammo. Big floppy fish of a bomb over there. Am I out of bombs? Yeah, I am. These guys might be able to help me with that, I guess. It's ridiculous. Fully ridiculous. Five minutes left. We don't have a ton of time. Trying to get closer to the projectile limit be as much of an issue. What was that icon? Is this fucking dead end, or am I supposed to? Or is there a fantasy wall here? It's a dead end. That's good research in case we have to redo this. Yeah, I always had the impression from what little I'd seen that this was the by far more kind of ambitious, interesting game. The Super Nintendo one seems a lot more straightforward and kind of bland. We'll see. We won't judge that game until we play it. Yeah, the visuals in this are quite pleasant. Kind of to be expected from a NES game that's this late. And a lot of the European developed games were kind of pretty fancy, like technically speaking. You know, there was a rich development history of squeezing a lot out of very little. Oh my Jesus. Okay, sure. At least we know that I mean, it's a pretty good thing that I killed that other turret, because I probably needed to destroy the turrets to open the exit. And I'm becoming more familiar with that as a concept in this game. Like, because it's not a thing in every screen, right? But in some screens, killing every enemy spawns stuff. So that's something to be aware of. The level's not over yet. So the full screen bomb, yeah, it would have. It would have. Eurocom, pretty cool developer. They also did Magician. I always get Eurocom and Funcom mixed up in my head. I guess it's a boss? I have a feeling we might not see any TV show villains showing up in this game. We're going to be fighting sentient totem poles. Fucking Danmaku bullet patterns. That doesn't work. Can't fire my... Oh! Shit, this is a weapon. Okay, it's just armor. I see, I can't use it to hurt him. I just lost a bunch of that gadget slash weapon. That thing. Instead of taking damage. Well, I don't know, I don't think I took damage also. The pattern seems pretty tough to try to avoid. No boss health. Like, was 1 minute 55 gonna be enough? The knockback is slightly incredibly infuriating. Oh, I'm out of bombs. I'm dead again. I guess I should expect this thing to be tanky as shit, given what we have to deal with the regular enemies. I'm pretty much out of bullets, too. And I'm running out of lives rapidly. But, yeah, surely you cannot just credit feed your way through the entire game. That would be shocking. Did I kill one? I think I might have. Looks like it, yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, it's European difficulty level. That's kind of what I was expecting, or fearing. Hence my, you know, going on about... I didn't mean to do that. Like, once we get to these games, they're gonna be unfinishable. Oh, game over again. Okay, so do I continue? Yep, we're right here. Oh, they start the pattern over from the beginning. I'm out of bombs. Ridiculous tankiness, and I'm out of bullets again. Luckily, I mean, the fact that you regenerate bullets is at least... I ran out of time. I did run out of time. Padlock James, maybe you'll do better next time. I guess that's always going to be a factor. I guess that's always going to be a factor. But that means that self-preservation is not nearly as important as going fast. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Yeah, so running out of time is a hard game over. But yeah, if we have full free, you know, credit feed freedom, then yeah, fuck it. Just, you know, get melted by every fish along the way. I don't know that to be a fact, you know, but could be the case. Maybe the manual, maybe the manual is going to clarify that for us. I'm going to pause the timer there. I need to take a short break, But when I come back, we're gonna check out the manual and see if we can learn anything important. We just want to see a no damage run. That's some anti-European sentiment there. Games were not built for that kind of shenanigans. Well, I'll be back in a little bit, and we'll see what else we can figure out. I'll be back shortly. These jams are cool, but let's get some other jams in here while I'm on break. See you guys shortly. All right. I have returned. So, let's see if we can do this. Let me prep. Yeah, I think this is going to be easiest. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. me a second while I dig up the manual. See if this works. Oh, it's hidden. Okay, there we go. So let's see if we can do this. Oh yeah, this quality's not great, is it? James Bond Jr. instruction manual. Well, we should at least be able to discern the the written instructions, and that's the important part. Thank you for purchasing the thrilling James Bond Jr. for play on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The top scientific minds of the world have been kidnapped by Scumlord, and it's up to James Bond Jr. to save the day. Equip yourself with new weapons and gadgets in every level of intense action. Follow orders from Colonel Monty. You'll infiltrate secret enemy bases to locate the blueprints of the deadly world domination device. Now get ready to make a new legend for the Bond name as you race to remote sections of the globe in your never-ending battle against the forces of evil. Colonel Monty, I wonder if he's in the show. He wasn't featured in the first 5 episodes. It's so funny, like, the game's cool, but it doesn't feel like, I had to remind myself kind of during the breaks, like, oh yeah, that's right, it's like based on the show, because when I was stepping away from my computer, as I have been doing for the past 24 hours, I started thinking about the James Bond Jr. theme song. I was reminded of it. It's like, oh yeah, the show. Wait, this game is supposed to be based on the show, and I kind of forgot because it's so different. You know, the whole premise, like, oh yeah, he's taking orders from Colonel Monty. Like, who's he? Who is that? And it's like they made a pretty cool game, but it just, like, the fact that they had to make up this character to give you orders, because in the show he doesn't take orders, like, would seem to indicate that maybe they were a little bit off track. Assuming he is made up, I don't know, but he's not, like, you know, the premise of the show does not appear to be that he gets orders, you know, to go on missions. Game over, dude. I mean, he did congratulate us for successfully disabling missiles. But yeah, you know, one of the most interesting aspects of doing a project like this is to look at each game in the context of how did they adapt the license. Now, of course, this is different from the Bond films, but even so, you know, we can compare games to each other, but we can also look at any one individual game and see, like, what interesting choices did they make, or what strange choices did they make, or, you know, in the cases of something like Live and Let Die, where there's like, well, you drive a boat, that happens once in that movie. It doesn't seem very connected beyond that, and, you know, lo and behold, that game was a completely unrelated game until at some point, like, hey, we could slap a Bond license on this, and so they did. But for this, you know, you have the character portrait and stuff, like, you know, the gadgets, and in a lot of the mechanics, like, a lot of the aspects of it seem perfectly reasonable as an adaptation of the show, but, like, his friends are not present. IQ's not there to give you gadgets. You don't go on, like, school trips or whatever. No, he's, like, literally recruited by some, you know, nameless government agency to go on top secret missions around the world, and is apparently the free world's only hope. And, like, that's a pretty drastic departure from the premise of the show. I mean, yes, he does go on globe-trotting adventures to save the world, but, you know, they could have had the intro be, you know, IQ manages to come across some intel, and James Jr. takes it upon himself to go on this adventure. I think that would be a lot more in line, you know, with the spirit of the show. Yeah, there's the board game. We looked at some merch, all the toys and stuff at the beginning of the stream, and in fact, we watched a couple of episodes on Discord last night, or on Saturday, sorry, and we're gonna be watching more for sure, because I want to watch more, and we have this game ahead of us, and then we have the Super Nintendo game. So while we're doing this, like, I'm not gonna like sit here and commit to saying like, hey, we're gonna watch the whole thing, but I want to watch more. And I mean, I expect the Super Nintendo game to have about as much to do with the show as this does. But there's several villains, recurring villains that we haven't seen yet, and other stuff. And there's like I said, there is a Japanese, like a Japan episode. I want to watch that because I'm curious, because we saw the book cover that had the ninjas. We see the toy of James Bond Jr. as a ninja. So like, there's got to be some whack ninja 90s shit in there that we gotta see. And you know, there are certain episodes that seem like they have kind of fun premises, so I want to check in on those at least. So we might do some James Bond Jr. during weeknights this week. Otherwise, I reckon we'll probably watch a good couple of episodes more on Saturday or during this weekend. So this is not, you've not missed your one and only chance. But if you're interested in joining, just a link to the Discord right there, where we do movie nights on Saturdays with somewhat, you know, some degree of regularity. We usually watch video game based films, but as we prepare for James Bond, we've been watching Bond movies, and in this case, a couple of episodes of James Bond Jr. Also, what's up, Taco? No, Trevor ruining everything. Dude, imagine if you got to bully Trevor, though. How sick would that be? Check out the tasks. A lot of damage boosting and one mysterious ladder trick. Interesting. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if the game makes it clear what the continue situation is. But the prevailing thought as of now appears to be that time is the only thing that matters. So we can just face tank everything and push through, which might make for a pretty comfy playthrough of not having to worry too much, which is kind of the opposite of what I was expecting. All right, table of contents. Background. The greatest weapons scientists from across the globe are being held prisoners by the evil Scum Lord. Intelligence reports indicate that they're incarcerated in his fortress island located somewhere in the Caribbean. Take charge as young James Bond Jr., ladies' man and all-around hero. Dude, he's like a teenager. He's like underage. Is he a ladies' man? I don't know. Follow the orders of Colonel Monty on 4 separate yet deadly missions. It's kind of a straight, like, they're separate yet deadly. Despite being separate, they are also deadly. Alright, okay, fair enough. You must first deactivate Scum Lord's missiles within their silos. Next, infiltrate his complex, where you'll need to crack open some safes to retrieve the stolen blueprints. Then it's off to the munitions factory to destroy the 6 machine chambers that comprise the world domination device. In the final confrontation, you must rescue the captured scientists and stop Scum Lord once and for all. So I mean, Scum Lord's in the game. That's something. But there's 4 stages, and we got to the boss of stage 1. And it wasn't like Oddjob or Dr. No or Walker D. Plank. No, it was a totem pole. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I mean, it's crazy too when you look at like those bigger mid-boss enemies, which, you know, they're pretty elaborate, well-drawn, and like pretty, you know, full of character. It seems weird that they wouldn't have just made one of, like, I mean, we haven't seen all of it. Maybe they show up later, but given the amount and variation of enemies in the first stage already, I don't know that I expect every stage to have its own setup of unique enemies. So, like, if you're gonna do, like, why wouldn't you make one of those Oddjob or Jaws? Or, like, if you're not gonna make them the bosses, they should at least show up, right? Seems stuff like that feels like so weird. Like, even though the basic controls and graphics and presentation and gameplay premise and everything seems perfectly adequate, I feel like the villains are like such a key appeal of the property that it seems strange to forego them entirely, on top of, again, like the premise being a little funky. starting the game. Passcodes are earned by completing a mission. So I'm curious, like, I wonder what the passcode, like, if lives and continues don't really matter, which I don't know for a fact, but if that is the case, then you wouldn't necessarily need to track all that much data. But I don't know, maybe weapons carry over between stages. Either way, any password to another stage would probably be, like, as long as you get a password, you can, you know, you can get through it eventually. Yeah, I think, like I said, it's a big reason why I'm so fascinated with licensed games, because there's always an element of looking to the source material and what they chose to include and what they choose to exclude and how they went about it. And I think for sure, like, licensed games get a bad rap. Obviously there's plenty of bad ones, but I don't know if you look at, you know, even taking what I would say is probably the most kind of infamous time frame for that kind of thing, would, like, the early 90s stuff, like basically NES movie licensed games. If you look at the sum total of NES movie licensed game, hey, let's include 16-bit consoles just for the sake of it, and you look at, like, what is the average level of quality of those games, people would probably instinctively say that, oh, they're bad. Like, movie games are bad in general, and movie games are bad on average. But I would say, this is not scientific or anything, obviously, but my gut tells me that if you were to take every movie license game and you just derive some kind of arbitrarily determined general average level of quality, and you stack that up against the same kind of average level of quality of the entire library of games for that console, I can't imagine that, like, on average, movie license games are, like, significantly, meaningfully worse than everything else. I think it's a combination of, like, high profile name recognition. Like, there's got to be a lot of worse games that aren't as known. There's, like, movie games where people would have gone in with a set of expectations based on the property, maybe. And the thing is, too, like, even when they are subpar, I think there's something inherently interesting about the adaptation aspect of it, where not only what I was saying about, like, in sort of investigating, checking out, like, what did they do, how do they go about it, but also that kind of built in, you know, provided they did something beyond slapping the name on the box, you can come to a game like that and the game won't have to sort of start from scratch in terms of establishing characters and, like, making you care about the universe, because whether or not it's a property you are invested in personally, you can sense, like, you know, the world is going to be more fleshed out than something original, probably because it exists outside of the game. And, you know, sometimes that manifests in kind of non-impressive ways. But you have, like, there's just, you like, right off the bat, there's, like, this a richer universe. The game kind of comes preloaded with that stuff, whereas an original game is going to have to kind of work for it a little bit. That's not to say that I think licensed games are, like, inherently superior to original games, but I think, like, they've got, like, there's a reason why you would make games like that, and it's not, like, from a creative standpoint, beyond just the obvious, like, hey, you can market it a lot easier. And yeah, I mean, you guys bring up good examples. There are several movie license games that have, like, fantastic reputations. There are some that are kind of infamous, but still kind of thought of fondly. Basically, I think the premise, the idea that movie license equals bad is, I don't want to say that it's, like, you know, this kind of perpetuating AVGN hot takes, or, you know, taking jokes at face value. Like, it's not this, that perception predates that by a lot. But I think it is this kind of mimetic, self-perpetuating thing where there's this, currently, in my opinion, the the sentiment that movie games are bad, most people who hold that, you know, position, or at least people who express that sentiment, I don't think they arrived there by like empirical first-hand experience. Like, I feel like primarily the idea of movie games being bad is like sort of seen as self-evident. Everyone knows it to be common knowledge, so it's not really questioned or you know, examined. And I don't think it's like, of all the misconceptions about video games, it's like not the most egregious or harmful, perhaps. But I think it's like, I've come to realize, like, you know, at some point I think I was being maybe a little bit contrarian, or being like, you know, it's no secret that I like bad games, or like I take interest in stuff that other people don't. But I think when I first started being like really fascinated with movie license games, I came at it from a point of like, hey, other people dismiss this, but hey, I'm gonna see what I can find to enjoy about these things. Because I always, you know, regardless of what I play, yes, there are situations in which it can be kind of fun to dunk on some things, but in general, I don't really like. In general, I far prefer trying to find something positive, to like being able to get something positive out of something. And in having that approach in playing and watching movie games, like I kind of slowly got to the point of not just like, hey, these aren't so bad after all, but more like, you know, given that each of them have something interesting, and given that there's conceptually an interesting aspect here, I feel like movie license games and other kind of licensed games inherently have a base level of kind of interesting that, if nothing else, offsets that kind of perceived average level of quality. So I think it's interesting. But yeah, I think you make a good point too, Taco. Like, for sure, and that's kind of what I mean. Like, these things, you when you look at that kind of empirical first-hand experience, you do get some of that. Like, you know, I'm not gonna grow up getting to play every NES game, but I know, you know, this. I know Ghostbusters, or I know Back to the Future, or I know DuckTales, or whatever. You know, and maybe some of those are bad, some of those are good, and the you are more likely to be exposed to those games to begin with because of the co-marketing, you know, branding aspect. And even the average games that you did have access to as a kid, you might not have remembered them. You remember the things that are easy to remember because of the association. You remember things that are particularly, you know, disappointing or impactful in that sense. So it makes sense that like movie games would be disproportionately remembered, just in general. But anyway, let's continue reading this manual. Status bar. When the actual game begins, you will see the status bar appear. The information on the status bar is from left to right. Lives, weapon or item currently held by James, number of item or weapons left, score, remaining sub-games to complete, and the time to complete the current level. Now, where was I? Oh, we get an office level later. Okay. Controlling James Bond Jr. There are two modes of play in this game. The first and most common is the normal mode. The direction for controlling James in this mode are start pauses, left or right walks, up or down, goes up and down ladders, pass through doorways, A to jump, B to shoot or use weapon. Select button and down on the control pad. Cycle through selection of items and weapons that James is carrying. This will not work in the underwater scenes. Yeah, you actually hold select and you tap up or down to cycle through. And it's not, honestly, I think that's actually, like, the way it's described here sounds a bit unhinged. Because you go like, well, why don't you just tap select? But the fact that you can actually cycle through it, I think is pretty clever. It's a little bit clunky because holding select and pressing up or down, like, it's just not super. I mean, the controller is small enough that you can do it, but it's I feel like it would be nice if you'd be able to pause and also, like, in addition, cycle through when pausing. Or just make it so that if you only tap select, it would also cycle. But, like, you would never expect that kind of, like... For an NES game, they would make one solution and that's it. Oh, Scumlord. It's pretty funny too, because like we can assume that we beat the game and we like apprehend Scumlord and we defeat Scum. And as far as I'm aware, that's not something that ever actually got to happen on the show because it doesn't have an ending. That's a pretty fun, interesting thing. Like, it reminds me kind of an not the most obvious association, but the Fushigi no Umi no Nadia, what is it called? Secret of the Blue Water, I think. It's an anime. That game had a Mega Drive, or that anime had a Mega Drive game, and it was featured on the Mega Drive Mini 2. I think it was published by Namco, and that game was like kind of I don't think the game is very special as a game, but it was like kind of noteworthy at the time because it came out before the show had finished. So it follows the story, I guess, to begin with, but then it kind of it Games of Thrones it by like, well, we were running out of source material, so we're just gonna fucking make it up from here. And it kind of went its own path and has its own like ending. That's another kind of cool thing. Like, that sort of situation is not gonna happen for something that isn't based on source material, you know. So it's kind of fun. The second mode of play involves special items that James uses. Each item is listed below with the appropriate controls. Unless otherwise stated, the controls for the normal mode work here as well. That's so... Yeah, this is like weird old game shit. Where they like... There's two modes of play. There's normal mode. And the other mode is when you use an item that changes your controls. Yeah, it's not uncommon with anime adaptations for like ongoing series for sure. Scuba gear, left, right, and down, move in those directions. A button to swim. B button, shoot bubble gun. This decreases your air supply. I didn't think about that. That helps explain why you would run out quicker sometimes. That's a pretty questionable scuba gear design. You just have a gun, you just shoot, and you just like rapidly deplete your oxygen. But hey, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Just really funny. All right, give me a sec here. All right. And that makes sense. You can't fire the gun because it's like you're in the air. If you're out of the water, of course you can't shoot air. All right, what else we got? Airborne jetpack. A button, use jetpack, decreases jetpack supply. Shoot fireballs. Then we drink a potion to become a werewolf. B button, attack enemies as a true werewolf. When James is in the state, he can jump higher than normal, reaching greater distances. Barrier shield, same as normal mode, except the B button has no effect. While James is carrying the shield, he can ram enemies and take no damage. I wonder if the shield just works differently on the boss. Because when I equipped it during the boss, it basically seemed like I got hit and I got knocked back completely as usual, except it just drained a ton of the barrier instead of health. So it was like not at all useful. But yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Like, scuba gear and jetpack. Like, okay, these are Bond gadgets. I mean, they're literally things that Bond uses in films, right? And we've already seen one scuba episode on the show. I think it's fair to expect that at some point in the following 60 episodes that James Bond Jr. probably equips a jetpack. And if he doesn't get to do it, it's easily something he could have done or would have done. Now, I'm not going to put it past the show to have a potion that turns James Bond Jr. into a werewolf. But it's a little bit of a left field pick in terms of like, all right, we got 4 gadgets. We got 4 Bond gadgets in our game. All right, we got a scuba gear, jetpack, semi-invincibility, and fuck it, he's just gonna turn into a werewolf. A little bit unexpected. And it's so funny. I guess it just, you know, you just toggle your inventory, you just equip the potion, and you're like, boom, werewolf. And then you're like, well, okay, I'm done with this potion. Let me grab my gun. Boom, now we're human again. So I hope there's a werewolf episode that, and those are the rules. All right. Each level has a different goal. To achieve these goals, you must complete the sub-games within the levels. Level 1, disable missiles. Find the computer room in each silo. Stand in front of the computer terminal to enter the sub-game. Press up. The object of this sub-game is to match the large pattern with the smaller one on the right. When you accomplish this, the alarm will stop and a message appears. Yeah, we figured this out. Bit clunky, but we got there. Level 2, recover the blueprints. The blueprints are hidden in safes. Some are booby-trapped. Enter the sub-game by pushing up when you are over a safe. I feel like you could also, like, if time turns out to be a factor, you could probably route, like, you could route each of these, so you basically boil it down to a series of inputs, and you don't even, like, look at the screen, basically, just, you know, follow the inputs, you know, taking notes. I don't know that that's the quickest way of doing it, but, like, you know, taking into account the time you would need to sort of figure it out and write it down. That would honestly be pretty time consuming, because you would still have to, you couldn't write down all the moves you do while also making a bunch of mistakes and whatever. Well, whatever. Obviously, if you had that as a guide or whatever, it would be the most ideal, but probably not realistic. But I don't know. We were at the boss fight. We almost cleared it, and we like backtracked through the entire stage 1.5 times, basically. So just doing stage 1 over again now, we're going to get to the boss a lot faster. So we should be fine. But the other, like, if each level has an increasingly strict timer, that's going to be a real issue. But we'll figure that out when we get there. The blueprints are hidden in safes. Some are booby-trapped. Enter the subgame by pushing up when you're over a safe. Up, down, left, right. Move flashing cursor over the 4 dials and the door catch. A and B buttons. Rotates the current dial clockwise or counterclockwise. When either button is pressed while on the door catch, the number of attempts decreases. The number is located in the center of the safe. The number on the door indicates how many of the dial numbers are correct. If a dial stops flashing, it is the correct number. Oh man, I'm flashing back to the safe cracking exercise in Stealth Affair. Or the exercise in frustration, trying to understand the instructions in the manual, or the descriptions of the safe cracking gadget, and how it basically did not align whatsoever with what actually happens in the game. But okay, let's try to parse this. You move a cursor and you highlight a dial, and you can rotate it either way with A and B buttons. You can also select the door catch and press a button to, I guess, attempt to open the safe. And there's a number on it that tells you how many times you are allowed to attempt to open it. The number of attempts. The number on the door. I mean, the screenshot's a little tricky here, but it says this number is located in the center of the safe. So that's presumably this little dot in the middle that shows you the number of attempts. And then it says the number on the door indicates how many of the dial numbers are correct. So that's probably something on the little latch here on the right. So it seems like you just spin a dial until a number goes down and then you move over to the next dial. It seems like extremely straightforward, but I don't know if it's... I feel like surely it can't be that simple. Because that sounds a lot less complex than the first stage. But we'll worry about it when we get there. Levels 3 and 4 have no particular sub-games per se. Just destroy the factory rooms in level 3 and eliminate the boss characters guarding the scientists in level 4. Maybe they put all the villains from the show in level 4. There's no proper boss characters, just a boss rush on stage 4, basically. That'd be pretty cool. Once you have completed the sub-games on a level, you will see a note to find the exit. This means that you must destroy the final boss of that level to move on. And find the exit without dispatching the boss. You can find the exit without dispatching the boss character, but you cannot exit without completing this task. That's interesting. Yeah, so we got the last missile, and it's like, oh, find the teleport. But that's not fighting the exit, because the teleport just took us to the boss. And then we had to defeat the totem pole. And I guess after killing the totem pole, he might tell me to find the exit. But we didn't get that far. Special items and collectibles. What would a Bond saga be like without a bunch of really cool gadgets to make his life a little easier? We thought so too. Listed below are the various items and weapons that James has access to during the game. Gun. This has a limited bullet supply of 99. From 0, the bullets increase to a maximum of 20. Collect ammunition boxes to max out on bullets. Bomb, also limited to 99. After you run out of bombs, the only way to get more is to collect a bomb icon. Well, that, I guess, is true for everything except the gun. Flare, also limited to 99. Use these to stun enemies for a few seconds. Has no effect on enemies that are wearing goggles. That's kind of a cool idea. I like that. Nuke bomb. Limited. Is anything not limited to 99? Damages all enemies on screen at once. Big blast. So that's the one that looks like a fat fish or a cartoon torpedo. Jetpack. Increases as you fly and shoot fireballs. Yep. Scuba gear. Yep, the number is how much air. We figured this out. Yep. Find air pockets and scuba icons to replenish your supply. Oh. I guess that's going to be a thing in later stages. What's up, Pilipala? Welcome. Shield. Acts as an extension of James's health. Used as a weapon, like a battering ram against opponents. I think the shield probably sucks. Because normally the enemies, like the water knocks you back, and the dog, like most enemies don't actually have knockback. Well, I guess we'll have to try it, I suppose, because we're going to be tanking enemies in general anyway. But what I was thinking, the reason I was thinking it sucks is, like, if this makes it so that enemies that normally wouldn't have knockback gives you knockback, it's just gonna, yeah, you know, just gonna bump off of them instead of just running through them. But maybe I mean, the manual does not seem to imply that it will actually ever hurt enemies. But if it melts your shield number instead of your health until it's 0, that, you know, that's not bad. The item starts out in number 9. When James uses the potion, he becomes a werewolf. Not only can he jump higher and attack enemies as a wolf man, but guard dogs won't attack him in this form. That's pretty funny. So I wonder if maybe you can't toggle once you use it. Maybe you're stuck in the wolf form. I mean, not that the other weapons don't describe being able to swap items, but hopefully we'll get to try it. Hey, what's up, Mr. Radon? If there's a Bond movie with a werewolf potion, I would lose my shit. Yeah, you know, that's would be pretty memorable. Beast, altered beast. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. All right. Items: ammo box, bomb, flare, jetpack. Big bomb. Potion bottle gives you more werewolf potion. James's head gives you an extra life. Clock, more time. All right, we picked up one of those. Small hamburger gives you a little health. Large hamburger gives you a lot of health. Shield gives you more shields. Pretty straightforward. 90-day limited warranty. I have a feeling that this 90 days have expired. Compliance with FCC regulations. All right, okay. Notes. No notes, huh? Well, there we go. Exhaustive 19-page instruction manual. I mean, it's got all the information we need. I think we're good. Big hamburger fan like his uncle. Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course. Bond's trademark food. Okay. So for those of you joining us, we jumped headfirst into the game. And pretty quickly I was like, wait, I should probably check if there's a manual. And I received a link for a PDF, but we didn't stop to check it out. We did like a full attempt of stage 1. And then when I game over on the boss, like, all right, let's take a break and check the manual. And now we have, and now we're ready for attempt number 2. I'm curious. I'm gonna check I'm gonna press select Highest score today, 0, by the way. I guess I didn't get to keep my score. Okay. I was curious what the, like, format for the password would be. Many of our top scientists have been kidnapped. Euro daily. So good. Oh, yeah, let's resume the time here. Agents have seen missile silos on a Caribbean... Oh, so there's going to be an intro briefing for each stage. We believe that Scumlord is responsible. Our only hope is to send James Bond Jr. We're just going to kidnap him in between his classes at his school. James Scumlord has to be stopped at all costs. Your first task is to find and disable his defense missiles. James is flown in under cloud cover. James Bond European mission. What's up, Secret Agent Bondy? Real men don't need instructions. It's pretty funny, right? That's the that's the whole joke about the Home Improvement game manual, which is a game that absolutely needs instructions because it has like the most unhinged control scheme where every button does something totally different. That game is not really for humans, I don't think. I'm going in. All right. Okay, let's not saving any time on that. So the manual makes zero mention whatsoever of any kind of limitation in lives or anything like that, right? So I think we can basically assume that lives/continues are unlimited. All right, let's go grab the first one on the left here. Oh, fuck, I missed the spring. Ah! I'm okay. There we go. Damage boosting on the liquids is very weird, but that's fine. We don't care about lives. We care about time. We can jump. All right, time to mute. There we go. Yeah, that one's already correct. Nope. Yeah, I think this one you just like... Yeah. I'm muting the emulator every time we do one of those because... Well, you heard about a second and a half of it. And I could just tell my mind just melting. Trying to do a puzzle. With that noise going on. Alright. There's a whole bunch of these, like... massive dudes. I wonder if I can do headshots. Yeah, so when you die, you just like literally respawn right where you're at. Even when you continue, you just respawn where you were. So we're gonna go to up top here and get the scuba gear so we can go down the water. Enemies don't respawn, so we might as well kill them. Time on, I guess, it's just points. You know what? I don't want to bump into this guy midair. The enemies take, like, I don't know, 20 hits or something. Sometimes it does appear like you can hit him in the head. Fuck this. I think I'll be fine. Oh, maybe that noise is when you hit 20 bullets. That I guess would make sense. Scuba gear. Got it. European Sunsoft game. I mean, I can kind of see it. That's actually an interesting interesting description. I think there's like a big burger up there. There we go. I couldn't equip the scuba gear in midair. Alright, so the fish melt your health, but that's fine. I can spend all of my air by shooting air bubbles. I might need to breathe. Actually, because if I die underwater, I basically respawn where I, like, before I enter the water, so I'd have to actually go back several screens. Oh, oh, interesting. I respawned from where I touched air. Got a little brain. Oh yeah, you can only have 2 bullets on screen, so if you miss a bubble, and it like awkwardly, slowly floats, you have to wait for it to float to the ceiling. Or you can do anything. Yeah, unique little mech warrior. Oh, this guy just... You know what? Fuck it. I'll just jump through it. Why waste time? Ammo. So I guess if you jump, I don't know. Oh, maybe you don't walk through these guys. It's gonna take so long. There's a faster way of solving that one. Well done. Thank you, Colonel Morty. Was that his name? Oh yeah, this game has fall damage too, by the way. I don't know if you caught that before. So these turrets and this flying robot and the little mech warrior fella down there, they only appear on this one screen on this stage. Honestly, just like trying to go through things quickly. I don't know that it's actually costing us that much more lives than like trying to actually, you know... Oh, air! You know, trying to be careful inevitably means spending more time kind of like, you know, in the enemy's line of fire. So I don't know. Going fast is good. Gotta go up here. Yeah, that's kind of what I didn't want to have happen. But that's actually perfect spot for it to happen if it's going to happen. Okay, I actually kind of do want to go up here because just like respawning on top of these springs and shit is going to be awkward. Wow, that gave me like what, 3 health? Big Burger's not that big. Alright, we got the ancient Roman bomb guys. Guard dogs. Word spot. Ah! Yeah, that happened first time too. I got fucking wall comboed by the dog. I guess get 25 bombs per pickup. I must have hit that guy with stray bullets. There's no way he died from 1 bomb. I can go here first. So you always get bumped backwards relative to the way you're facing. But it's very easy to instinctively like hold right because you want to travel right, but then you get bumped to the left. I realize now just like literally making sure you're facing the right way and then not touching anything. Technically, you might lose a few pixels of traversal on each bounce from not... Because you regain control. And it's kind of funky, like when you get bounced by the liquids, if you hold the jump button, you bounce higher. So, you like damage boost higher. Trying to land headshots. Doesn't seem to do much difference here. I don't know what the deal is with that. So by holding, oh yeah, you can just hold forward. Oh, that didn't happen before, but at least they jump over you, so that's fine. Bomb, nice, thank you. Fantasy floor. Oh yeah, it landed on mine. When I first got here, I didn't know about switching weapons, so I was like, well, I guess I just gotta walk on these mines. Luckily not quite the case. You know what? Fuck it, let's not waste the bombs. I feel like I got sidetracked in the middle of a train of thought there somewhere, but that's fine. Alright, the fire doesn't knock you back, it just melts you, so speed through. Whatever. I need to mute now. I need to actually think, and then I need to mute. I mean, I guess we can do this. Down here. Do... No. Oh, wait. Controls for this are a bit funky. Okay, so yeah. Unmute. Hold on. Sniped by this guy. At this point, it's like, well, I guess I maybe am gonna get something, but it's totally not gonna be worth it. Oh, a clock. Okay, I got 5 minutes of time, and it didn't take 5 minutes to kill him, so that's probably worth it. All right, fuck that up. Alright, we got 2 left with 39 minutes. We're doing significantly better on time than last time, unsurprisingly. We didn't have to backtrack through the entire level. It's interesting. Last time I could literally walk through, just I guess with the cycles, the way it lined up. They didn't even hit me with their bullets, I could just walk past. Parallax effect is so nice. Very nice game visually. This I should probably check if I had 99 bombs. Oh, I definitely didn't. That was worth it. The bombs do deal much more damage, so it's generally worth it. Speaking of could flashbang this guy, but I guess who cares? So usually when we kill one of these big dudes, makes stuff appear. Like platforms or some such. But everything is just absurdly tanky. No obvious reasons. Oh, can I make it? Yep, there we go. Fine. I would have gotten knocked back far, but I bumped my head on the ceiling. Yeah, so these you have to bomb, I guess. So weird when they have, like, platforms that look the exact same later on, but they melt when you stand on them. Oh yeah, I've got these weirdly well-animated flamethrowers. Alright, we'll just go for a swim. Nibbled on. Not gonna bother shooting a bunch. That saves on air too. Oh yeah, this is kind of weird. You just kind of hide back here. You can pretty much avoid any danger. But that's slow, so I'm just... Oh, that's a full screen bomb. I wonder if I should use the full screen bomb to get the teleporter at the end, or if I should try... Oh yeah, you can't turn around while crouching, by the way. That's pretty annoying. Oh yeah. A little useless at full health. I wonder if the bombs, like, deal big damage to the boss. Probably worth saving it for the boss. At least to try it out and see if it works. Okay, time to mute. And we need that, and wait. Controls. A little awkward. I feel like my my brain, like, my ability to do these get worse and worse.
Look, you!
It's like confusing because the to actually shift things around, you can go both ways because you can use the full D-pad. But when you cycle through which row or column you're adjusting, you can only move in one way, so it gets a little confusing. Chewy mushroom, thank you very much for the follow. Oh yeah, time's ticking. I had like this super simple technique for adjusting things, and now look at my brain, it just like forgot how I did that. Even though it's like pretty straightforward. There we go. Well done, you've disabled the missile. Okay. 33 minutes left. Get the last one, find the teleporter, and then fight the totem pole. We should be fine. Oh, right! Fuck! I forgot. There we go. That's so awkward. You can, like, you're so limited to how quickly you can go up. We don't need 99, but save ourselves some time with not having to do a little bit of extra swimming. Don't eat me. Okay, we're good. Save the burger. Okay, flashbang. Oh yeah, we get like an extra life and shit here. This, when you kill this, there's like 5 items drop. Oh, I'm out of bombs. One up burger, ammo, bombs, everything. Okay. Oh, that was weird. Fine. Right, so... Yeah, I believe the missile is to the right. And you have to go up there last to get the teleporter. Weird floaty jumps. Fine, perfectly aligned. Oh, I'm not crouching the bullets. Alright. Mute. Is this a different pattern? I don't know. I mean, probably not. Wait.
Look, you!
Like, I have to just very calmly and quietly do everything very slowly. Completed your mission. Get the inputs right. Now find the teleport. Celius Rocks. Am I reading that correctly? Thank you for the follow. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Alright, we got 30 minutes to find the teleport and beat the boss. I think we had like 12 minutes or something to do this maybe last time. Right, so these platforms melt. Oh, that was almost an incredibly sick damage boost. But, we basically need to get rid of this guy. Because he will not respawn. Oh yeah, you can shoot the platforms also. Just to make it slightly less civilized. Big burger. Alright, it's in the acid. That's fine. I thought for sure when you're game over, like, you'd have to redo the stage from the beginning, but no, you literally continue exactly from where you died, just like any other death. Right, this is still not, like, super trivial, because you don't have a lot of margin. You gotta do some short jumps. Alright, we did it. Nice. Oh, this whole part. You know what? I'll just climb through. An item down there. Continue, yes. Flash, probably not that useful. We'll drop ammo at least. Yeah, you're like spend 55. You gotta climb from the bottom. Bullets to get 99 back, basically. Green bomb. Oh yeah, I gotta go right first. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's save the bombs for the boss. I like that the bullet box just jumps. I got some ammo back. I guess you start with 50 bullets or whatever. Nice, the burger just melted. I have 99 bombs now. I guess I'll have to use some. Oh, I actually did not have 99. Ooh, I should actually grab that. But, there we go. I wonder when a... Yeah, because we gotta destroy these two turrets to get the teleporter to appear. It was kind of lucky, honestly, that I Because I went the other way first last time. And then I did destroy the turret, and then I went back here. It's like, what the hell? There's just a turret here, and I destroyed it. And I saw the exit appear. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't think to destroy that first turret on the left first, which I didn't like feel like I necessarily had any reason to do. Just seemed like maybe a good idea. Like, it turns out it was, but I didn't necessarily have reason for the... It was kind of lucky in a way. Nice. Oh, shield. Yeah, I guess you get it right before the boss, but you don't really get the opportunity to even try it on anything else. What's up, Nikita Lobo? Yeah, the art in this is great. I mean, it's like a late... It spawns a burger over there. That's pretty fucked up. Alright, 26 minutes. As opposed to like 5 minutes or whatever we had last time. Alright, let's okay, that's our full screen bombs. Flash probably not going to do anything. Shield. Alright, bomb. Should be more damage than the pistol, at least. It would probably be a good idea to, like, concentrate your fire on one of them. Take it out. Ooh, okay. Oh, I think the bomb did some, like, the nuke did some pretty good damage. Because I feel like it took way longer to destroy any of the heads last time. Yeah. Saving the nuke for the boss seems to be a strat. Because I'm not really, like, for this boss fight, by the time we got here last time... One more shield. I was pretty much just face tanking it, whatever. Oh yeah, okay, the nuke made all the difference. Passcode to start on mission 2 is 033481. I shall take a screenshot of this. Snipping tool failed to open the file. What the heck? Windows. Okay. Try this again. Object report unsaved. Oh. Fine, I'll just use Notepad. Whoops. I accidentally, okay, I didn't reset the timer. I just fucked it up. There we go. Nothing to see here. We're all good. Okay, passcode to start on mission 2 is 033481. I'm expecting a proper mission briefing. When Scumlord learns of James's attempt to foil his plans, he tries to launch all his missiles. James has already disabled the guidance systems. Aha, one step ahead. Curse you, Bond, you may have disabled my missiles, but I still have the world domination device. So that's what you're up to. Colonel, Scumlord has built some kind of super weapon called the world domination device. James, we know. Intelligence says that the blueprints have been hidden in safes in Scumlord's office complex. You must find them and get them to us as soon as you can. Be careful, James, there may be booby traps. Oh, do a little parallax. Okay, Colonel. This is pretty sick. Scumlord's office complex. The graphics are pretty sick. I mean, they all... Oh, look at the blueprint icon. Looks like a rolled up fucking... what do you even call that thing you... Like, not a mattress, but a thing you like lay on when you're like fucking camping or whatever. Looks like one of those. Nice change of... Oh, do we get to... Okay. Wait, the door disappeared. Stage is going to be increasingly maze-like. Probably. Is that a safe? I guess that's a safe. Wait, can I bomb the dog through this little porthole? Like, I don't know that that looks like a safe, but it looks suspiciously like the picture of a safe that we saw in the manual. Looks like a TMNT building, yeah, kind of. The uneven floors. There's so many cool details. Yep, okay. I can move the cursor. Okay, so 0 are correct. Wait. Okay, that number's not changing. Okay, so none of the numbers... Okay, well, turns out I was correct in that my best interpretation of what the manual said seemed like it would be too straightforward to make any sense. So, yeah. Am I supposed to find hints or something, or am I supposed to just guess it in 9 guesses? So, there's a number... the number in the center represents, like, the number of attempts I have to open the safe. Yes, the numbers are all different now. So that I attempt to open it, and that number goes down. What happens if I do this? No booby trap or anything. Okay, just like restart. The numbers are all random, I guess. But the numbers that's on the little latch is supposed to like change. Oh, maybe it only changes. Okay, I think I get it. I mean, I don't know if I'm closer to solving it, but let's go ahead. It's supposed to change if any of the numbers I get, like, are correct, but I guess it doesn't update in real time. It probably only updates when I attempt to open it. Okay, so that's different. Does that then mean... Okay, so let's try 1, 2, 3, 6. So, like... How the fuck am I... I guess I can do it multiple times if the combination doesn't end. He's a little bit fucked. Yeah, I mentioned too, like, I always get Eurocom and Funcom mixed up, but I don't have a super clear idea of either body of work, I guess. When I think of Eurocom, all I think about is the little FMV company logo intro that was on the PC port of Mortal Kombat 4. It says, Eurocom, electronic fun for everyone. That's like the only association I have. But they made Nightmare Circus, I think, right? Or was that Funcom? One of them did. But I would say European developers were pretty consistently, like on the NES, pretty like advanced. There's a lot of technical sophistication. Oh, okay, so that one's correct. Oh, and it'll stop flashing. Okay, so there's a 5. So ideally, you advance all of them, I guess, and not just one. Okay, that's the strat. Okay, let's try that again. So just to check. Oh, it does change. Okay, okay. So I guess the easiest way... Oh, you only get 9 chances, though. So you can't just start... Well, okay, let's... Oh, it's booby trapped. Well, that was worth it. Okay, well, we figured out the safe mechanics. Oh, there's a little exit sign. Now I see. The door didn't, like, disappear. It's just, like, it's hidden. Out of view. Okay. Let's see. But just the fact that there are doors means the navigation for this level is going to be a little more involved. New enemies, though? Oh, and it, like, shows... Oh, that's cool. Okay, so killing that turret actually made that little elevator appear. There's a save. Oh boy, like, might need to do some mapping, but I don't know. There might not be so many like alternate routes. The timer for this level is also significantly shorter. Probably a good sign. That's so cool. Like when you're standing there, it actually shows up. Oh, animated ashtray. There's like so many cool little details. It's like kind of a bummer that the game is like kind of not like, as far as being an adaptation, like it leaves a lot to be desired. Ah, died on my way to the burger. Shit, I should like probably make it a habit to, oh maybe not. I was gonna say I should make it a habit to like kill every enemy in case we get something out of it, but if I can navigate the screen just fine and get through it, it might not be necessary. But oh, okay, that was pretty cool. It was so out of the way, I figured there would be something. Yeah, I can't even like hit those, so that's not going to be important. Mr. Chicken Walker. Yeah, full screen flash I could do without, but... So there's 6 safes left. Or 6 blueprints, I should say. I assume that I shouldn't like try to open the same safe as... Oh, I try to crouch. Second time. I don't know why I'm going for points, but... Okay. So I'm basically... Well, I can just start it at whatever number. And I advance all of them by 1. I got it. Last try. Well done, you found a blueprint. Okay, so... Yeah. Alright. Weird black hole device. Oh, there's actually doorway down there. Alright, well, another safe. I'm gonna assume that it's gonna start on a combination where none of them are right. Oh, okay. It's so fucked. Alright, let's there was a door here. I guess we should do it in this order. Wait, what the f... Oh, okay. It's like, wait, how the hell do I reach that? But of course I do. Bad idea. There we go. Wow, okay, nice. Got all 3 there. Well done, you found a blueprint. It seems nice and fast and straightforward compared to the first stage. Right, now just gotta remember which way I'm going. Oh yeah, so I was here. Oh, okay, so that's a little pitch an elevator or something. So that probably takes us to like the next section of the stage. No annoying noises for this either. Animation's so cool. Nice. Up Ojisan Gaming, yes, we're playing all James Bond games, and that includes James Bond Jr. Oh, okay, I press... Okay, no, you press up to stand in the elevator, and then you, like, press up or down to go up or down, but there's only 2 floors, thankfully. Alright, make sure to kill every enemy in case killing them spawns something important. We're just kind of systematically take background doors first. I'm trying to find the bombs. I don't... Oh yeah, I'll try to ram the... Okay, yeah. Great. Shield works great. I guess I don't have bombs. I have the scuba gear though. Oh, might get some bombs from this dude. Oh, there's a safe. We're gonna get this stage first try. I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous, but I feel like we're progressing quite smoothly here. Found another blueprint. 2 left. Ah! Yeah, you can't turn around while crouched. Yeah, it's awkward. Oh, not doing. Oh, that spawns. Okay, I should get that. Going into the minigame will probably delete it. Save that for the boss. It's a lore on Junior. Yeah, he's James Bond's nephew. He goes to school and finds himself on globe-trotting adventures. But in the game, the school setting is not present. He's just being recruited into this mission by Colonel Morty. We watched a couple of episodes on the show on my Discord the other night, and so far Colonel Morty has not appeared on the show. So I don't know if he was made up for this game. I'm assuming so. But yeah, apparently James Bond Jr., teenage child, is the world's only hope. Pretty lucky with booby traps, I feel like. Very safe so far. Oh, boy. It came from the door on the left, I think. Oh, yeah. Okay, we haven't... Oh, there's a safe there. The door below me, I guess, would go to that safe. Alright. So the way the game works, you have a time limit for each level. This is level 2 of 4. Whenever you die, you basically just respawn exactly where you are. Oh, there's the teleport. Okay, that's good to know. Can't get that 1-up though, that's unfortunate. Probably not gonna stay there. Kind of weird that why would it spawn there if I can't get it? I guess technically I could go to the top right and use the bomb to get a 1-up, but the lives, like I said, are kind of useless. So we're gonna need to go into the teleport to get to the boss fight. But we need to get all the blueprints first. But this could be the last one. Oh, getting melted. Everything is shockingly tanky. It's a bit messed up. Maybe the blue turret. Maybe that's a... I mean, it looks like a turret, but... I guess it's a switch to destroy everything. Okay, let's hope this isn't booby-trapped. Because if it is, I'm actually not really sure where to go. Actually, I didn't go right from the elevator. Well, there we go. Well done, James. You've completed your mission. Now find the teleport. This stage was pretty... I mean, 10 minutes. We had like a 20-minute timer. Stage 1 had a 45-minute timer. There we go. Oi! It's a clock. Whatever. I could have just left. That's fine. But 9 minutes. We got at least one, 2 bombs. Oh yeah, it's here, I think. Oh, the clock did. Oh, wow. Okay, these items do spawn. So I could find my way to that extra life if I really cared. And I definitely do not. Whoa! No boss? Passcode to start on mission 3 is 258600. Okay, that was faster than expected. 258600. Oh shit, I fucked up the timer again here. Here we go. That's so weird, but yeah, someone mentioned, right? They looked up the tool-assisted speedrun, and it was like, what, 18 minutes something? And stage 1 was like 8 minutes? So, stage 1 apparently... I mean, that's not necessarily representative of how long I would spend on each level playing it normally. But I guess it makes sense that the next stage is shorter. But it's so funny, too, like... Stage 1 has, like... 5 giant missiles, and you do a relatively complex puzzle for each of them. Then you have to go to find teleport, and there's a big boss fight where you fight a totem pole, and it has like 8 billion HP, and then you clear the level. And then stage 2, you have 20 minutes. You find, like, the minigame is much simpler. There's, like, the stage is smaller, and there's no boss fight. And we know from the manual, the stage 3 and 4 don't have minigames. You just have to destroy something. So, yeah, is each level going to be shorter and simpler than the last? Having said that, according to the manual, stage 4 has a bunch of bosses in it, which, you know, they probably are not going to be much more complex than the big guys who are flying around. But if they... I mean, maybe it's just literally those enemies. But what if we do get to fight the actual villains from the show? That would be pretty sick. We need to wrap this shortly, but we should at least watch the briefing of the next stage. Stage 1 is maybe too big, but I mean, I got close to clearing it on the first try, and that was even spending half of the stage not even knowing about the weapon switching mechanic and backtracking through. Like, I thought for sure this game would be difficult and like a pretty rough experience. That really does not appear to be the case. Which is a big relief. We get to just enjoy the cool art and the music and everything and not have to stress about the game being impossible. It's a nice, you know, subversion of my expectations. Oh. Colonel, I'm flying back with the blueprints. Bond just commandeering. Chopper. Oh no, I've run out of fuel. I'll have to crash land. Colonel, I'm okay. I found Scumroad's factory. Oh, that's convenient. These are so sick. Just reusing stage 1 graphics, that's fine. James, that will be where he's making his super weapon. Find and destroy all the parts. Oh. Oh. It's a pretty cool looking level. Look at the animation of those fucking lights. Funky prog rock bass line. I mean, I do wish we had the theme song in the game, but this game has such... I mean, I guess it's not a unique vibe in that it's very Euro-gamey, but it's got such a strong and consistent vibe that, like, that, you know, that is such a separate thing from the game, or from the TV show, that it's already so far disconnected in so many other ways that the lack of the theme song doesn't seem that... Like, I would have loved to have heard a version of the theme song made by these people, because it would sound amazing. But the game itself isn't, strictly speaking, like, lacking for not having it. It more than makes up for it for having, you know, this music. And, I mean, this is, like, way cooler than any tech-based episode we're gonna see in the show, for sure. But I think this is as ideal of a spot as we're ever gonna get to wrapping things up. I feel confident in saying that we'll be able to finish stage 3 and 4 in one sitting next time. So we should probably do that on Wednesday. Friday is Viewer's Choice versus Fighting Games. It is also the first day of the Street Fighter 6 open beta. So I'm gonna, maybe, if possible, try to squeeze that in during that stream somehow. I don't know how that's gonna be possible, but I want to. But otherwise, we might just play some Street Fighter 6 on Saturday's stream. And Saturday night, if not before, we might squeeze something in during some weeknights, but Saturday night, we'll definitely watch some more episodes of James Bond Jr., the show. And we might do some other gaming in between, so we don't get full James Bond overload. But we'll get to James Bond Jr., the Super Nintendo game, at some point after finishing this. But obviously, one thing at a time. And maybe I'm being overconfident. Maybe the stage 3 and 4 are super hard, and maybe the continued rules change on later stages. Who can say? We will let these dulcet tones keep us company for a minute or two as I check who is live on Twitch, so that I can pay things forward. I doubt Rig is still around. That guy streams about 48 hours a day and somehow finds time to live life outside of Twitch. But he gave us a big old raid at the beginning of the stream, so thanks again. And thanks to everyone who's decided to follow, and everyone who's been hanging out. Let us see who we are gonna send all you lovely people to. You know what? Bilbo is playing Jelly Boy of his own volition, if you can believe that. That sounds like a good, stream to raid. Let's go say hi to Bilbo, connoisseur of quality games, who mentioned being somewhat excited to check this game out, and I think this game is right up his alley, to be honest. Thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for all the follows and raids and subs and all that cool shit. We'll be back with more Games Bond on Wednesday. Till then, take care, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. And please stick around for the raid. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.